Welcome to Bearcast Radio. I'm Matthew Lynn. Joined alongside me is Jaden Hagendoorn, where we have an exciting game in the Queen City between two rivals. A history for this matchup that goes back a long time, over 100 years. The Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Louisville Cardinals. It's going to be an exciting game. Louisville is now ranked number 6 in the AP poll, and Cincinnati trying to get that first top-tier Quad 1 win of the new year, and it would be a big one to get over the Louisville Cardinals and the Heritage Bank Center. The all-time series between these two teams, Louisville currently leads the series 56-44. However, the last time these two teams played was on November 23rd, 2022 in Hawaii, which was an 81-62 win for the Bearcats, a domination for them. But Jaden, why don't you tell me a little bit about this Louisville Cardinal team before we jump into the Cincinnati Bearcats side?
Man, they're special. They're 4-0, just got a nice win over their rival Kentucky. They got some star power. Ryan Conwell, a demon. He played at Xavier, averaging around 19 points per game. He's a true slasher and a true scorer. We got Michael Brown, a future lottery pick, looking very strong, averaging 19 points per game and 7 assists. And they're a very efficient shooting team, shooting around 50% from the field and 35% from three. Very fast-paced offense compared to the slowness of Cincinnati. That's going to have some trouble for the Bearcats, by the way. Very deep perimeter team. Everyone can shoot the three on the floor. And, great ball movement, averaging around 22.5 assists per game. And also very high scoring with 103 points per game.
And it is a bit of a homecoming for a couple of players on that Louisville side. Pat Kelsey, a Cincinnati native, the head coach of Louisville, went to Elder High School, played at Xavier. Ryan Conwell spent a year here with Xavier last season, and then Kobe Rogers, another player for Louisville, a Cincinnati native. So a lot of storylines here back in the Queen City for that Louisville side. But for the Cincinnati side, they're 4-0 this year, and they're off to a strong start. Big transfers and a big recruit, freshman in Sean Abayev and Baba Miller, two guys that are here to make an instant impact. Baba Miller, 15.8 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game. Sean Abayev, 11 points per game and 6 rebounds per game. That is going to be an exciting matchup at that point guard position between Sean Abayev and Michael Brown Jr., two highly recruited guards, two McDonald's All-American players that is going to be on display at the Heritage Bank Center. What is Louisville going to have to do to try to get a win at this neutral site game, Jaden?
If they stick at their fast-paced offense and ball movement all around, I say they have no trouble scoring the ball. Cincinnati's defense is pretty great, but with the quickness of all the players, I don't see why Louisville doesn't win.
Now, for Cincinnati, this would be a tough test early on, their first neutral site game of the season, and they're going to be led by Baba Miller and Sean Abayev. Those two guys you already mentioned are really going to have to pave the way. Mustafa Thiam, another strong player for the Cincinnati side. Kirk Carissa, a former Kentucky Wildcat. So a couple of past rivalries with Conwell and Kirk Carissa in this rivalry game in between these two teams, between Louisville and Cincinnati. But it's going to be an exciting game. Cincinnati's really going to have to rely on their defense to stop this perimeter scoring for Louisville. Again, a lot of three-point shooters between McNeely, Kobe Rogers, Adrian Woolley, another transfer, Michael Brown. They can shoot the three anywhere. So Cincinnati going to have to be on alert, and they're going to have to really attack interior. What Louisville does not have is size. They lack with that two power forward and center position being Javon Hadley and Sananda Frew. Those two guys kind of play the entire game. So if they're able to work it inside, really tire those guys out, that could be a super helpful avenue for the Bearcats. And trying to work it in with Carissa, who averages 5 assists per game, to like Baba Miller and Mustafa Thiam down low to try to get some easy, quick 2 points, could really lead to some problems for Louisville. But what they're gonna have to do is play with the same pace as Louisville does. Louisville, again, is a high efficient team. Not being able to match that pace could lead into some big trouble for the Bearcats. But we will have to see what happens on Friday at the Heritage Bank Center. Aidan Riggs will be on the call here with Bearcast Radio. But until then, Matthew Lynn and Jaden Hagendoorn signing off.
Alrighty.
100 miles separates two schools in a century-old rivalry. Exactly 100 matchups between these two, and they finally meet again. A series that's seen players such as Kenyon Martin, Peyton Siva, Oscar Robertson, and Darrell Griffith to players like David DeJulius and Luke Hancock, even guys like David Levitch and Josh Reed. A rivalry is renewed tonight downtown as the number 6 ranked Louisville Cardinals head up I-71 to face the Cincinnati Bearcats at Heritage Bank Center. We welcome you into Bearcat Sports Radio. My name is Aidan Riggs. I am joined alongside Ethan Herzog. Ethan, we got a matchup between one of the best offenses in the entire country, one of the best defenses as well.
Absolutely, and that's a big thing that I think a lot of people are going to be looking at when it comes to this matchup, is how well Louisville can shoot and how well Cincinnati can defend. They're one of the best blocking teams in the Big 12 and in the country, and Louisville has been shooting lights out this season so far, averaging just north of 100 points per game. The only time they didn't score 100 points in a game was against the Kentucky Wildcats when they beat the number 9 ranked team in the country just a couple weeks ago. It's going to be a massive game and a lot to prove for both of these teams, especially Cincinnati.
Cincinnati coming in as the second nationally in defensive efficiency at 91.1, only trailing the Houston Cougars, who happen to be the number 1 team in the nation. Louisville ranks second in the nation in offensive efficiency. They're averaging over 103 points a game. Cincinnati holding their opponents just 61 points a game. So far this season, both teams come in at 4-0 on the year. Cincinnati picking up wins against Western Carolina, Georgia State, Dayton, and Mount St. Mary's. That Mount St. Mary's game, a little bit of a scare about a week or so ago, and then Louisville's going to come in as well with that, as you mentioned, big win against the University of Kentucky, their first win against the Wildcats in quite some time that was as well. We're going to talk about these head coaches a little bit. Wes Miller in his 5th season here in Cincinnati. One of the things with Wes Miller has been he has those defensive teams. We've mentioned it a little bit with the defensive efficiency that the Bearcats have had, but they brought in a lot of guys this year that were going to work that. Talk about some of the newcomers we have for Cincinnati.
Absolutely, and I mean, you look at Baba Miller, who has been a showstopper for Cincinnati, and you look at his stats, 10.5 rebounds per game, currently 3rd in the Big 12, 2.3 blocks per game, 2nd in the Big 12, averaging 15.8 points per game, and I mean, he can get it done offensively and defensively, which is a piece that Cincinnati has been missing for a lot of years, and Baba Miller looks to be the person and the player who's going to fill in that role. And you look at players as well, like Kirk Rissa, Sincere Harris as well, and the big returner, Day Thomas, who is the only returner from the starting 5 last season for Cincinnati, averaging 14 points a game out the gate, has been a driving force for the Bearcats.
Let's talk about this Louisville team. As I mentioned, coming in as the 6th ranked team in the nation, got that win against the University of Kentucky not that long ago. But this is a roster as well. It's made up of transfers. Talk about some of them they got.
And you look, I mean, right up top, Ryan Conwell, transferred from Xavier, Pat Kelsey's alma mater, averaging 19.3 points per game. We were talking about it in the pregame as well. Michael Brown Jr., out of Orlando, Florida, also averaging in double figures, 19.3 points per game, shooting 50% from the field, 36% from 3, is one of the best players on this Louisville roster. Was nominated alongside Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James for the 2025 USA Basketball 5-on-5 Male Athlete of the Year Award. Are you kidding me? He's probably going to be one of the big highlights on this Louisville team tonight and the rest of the season.
Louisville, as you mentioned, coached by head coach Pat Kelsey, the former Xavier Musketeer who went 2-1 in his career at Xavier against the Cincinnati Bearcats. He's looking to add on to that tonight. You mentioned him being a local product as well. Elder High School grad. Elder's got a pretty big game going on just down the road at Paycor Stadium.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be paying attention to.
Oh yeah, I have the game currently up as well. I'm going to see if I can stream it myself. It's a big weekend for Cincinnati sports, not just here at Heritage Bank Center or across the way at Paycor. Tomorrow, the Bearcats take on BYU for a chance to keep their season alive and make their way closer to a trip down to Arlington for the Big 12 championship game. The Bengals play New England on Sunday. And FC Cincinnati welcomes Lionel Messi in from Inter Miami for the Eastern Conference semifinals. It's a big weekend. And for this game to kind of kickstart the momentum for what Cincinnati is going to see this weekend is big, especially looking at a hardwood edition of the Keg of Nails. This is a rivalry that should be played year in and year out. I saw on Twitter not too long ago, Victory Bell rivalry got dropped, which in of itself is a sad thing. Why isn't the Keg of Nails up next? Why have we not instated that Cincinnati and Louisville, who have played for a century now, separated by 100 miles, the last time that Cincinnati and Louisville faced off on the mainland United States was 4,290 days ago, per John Rothstein.
Know what I say to that? Grab your Skyline chili, grab your mint juleps, maybe grab a Cincy Light or a Cardinal Ale, and let's enjoy some basketball tonight to get this weekend going. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcat Sports Radio before we come back with tip-off. The crowd has filled into Heritage Bank Center, a strong showing from both Bearcat fans and Cardinal fans. The number 6 ranked Louisville Cardinals head up to Cincinnati for this matchup with the Cincinnati Bearcats, the 101st meeting of this matchup, 56-44. Louisville holds the current record in this matchup. In Cincinnati, though, Cincinnati leads 24-2. And these teams have split the last 20 meetings between the two squads. It's been very even in the 2000s.
Absolutely, and I mean, the last time these teams met was on the Maui Jim Malley back in 2022 when they won that contest, 81-62. That was when David DeJulius and Landers Nally were both still on the team. And since then, David DeJulius has gone on and has made a career for himself overseas. Landers Nally has stepped into a big role in the NBA as well.
The teams are taking the floor. We're going to get straight underway here in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bearcats and the Louisville Cardinals here on Bearcat Sports Radio. I am Aidan Riggs, joined alongside Ethan Herzog. Let's watch some fun basketball, some retro biggies, some retro Conference USA, and retro Metro. That worked out perfectly, really.
Retro American Athletic Conference as well. You can't forget that.
Louisville wins the opening tip. They're going to work from left to right on your radio dial wearing their all-white uniforms. Brown with the first touch up here at the top of the key. Floats one up, looking for Frew. It's going to go through his hands and out of bounds. Quick turnover forced by the Bearcats. Going to be a big thing for them in this one.
Absolutely, and this is one of the best defending teams we talked about in the pregame, is that Cincinnati can defend very well, but Louisville can also shoot lights out.
So here come the Bearcats with their first possession. We're scoreless with 19:35 remaining in the first half. Day Thomas, top of the key. He's going to hand it off to Sean Abayev. The star freshman works from left to right along the key. He's going to try and send it towards the right side. Too much on that. It goes straight out of bounds. A quick turnover by the Bearcats.
And see, I think it's a bit of a miscommunication there as well. Someone was supposed to cut into that corner. That corner was wide open, but nobody was there. I think Day Thomas may have been the intended target.
Vibes very similar to last year's game here at Heritage Bank Center, which was a slugfest between Cincinnati and Dayton. Let's hope we don't replicate that one. The top of the key, Isaac McNeely works towards the left side. He's going to give it back to Frew. Frew looking around. He's got Brown cutting. He's also got Conwell around him. He's going to hand it off to Hadley. Here's Hadley, top of the key, looking left side, gives it to McNeely. Very closely by Abayev. Step back from McNeely. 3 is up. No good, but he got fouled coming down. It's going to be the first foul of the night against Sean Abayev. He'll go to the line and shoot 3.
Too much on that from Sean Abayev defensively. Cincinnati kind of running a bit of a man defense here tonight on the floor. And it was great defense up until the point that Sean Abayev just got a little bit too in the face. It's going to be 3 free throws up first for Louisville and a chance to enter themselves into the scorebook with McNeely.
Isaac McNeely, the transfer from Virginia, was one of the best three-point shooters in the ACC last year. He makes his first free throw, and the Cards lead 1-0.
And you think that the three-point and free throw shooting might go hand in hand. And I mean, if you can knock it down from 3, take a couple steps inside, you can knock it down from the charity stripe.
Second one's good as well. 2-0's your score. 19:02 remaining in the first half. As we mentioned, it's just a short drive up from Louisville to Cincinnati. I've made it many times this year, if you couldn't guess, with everything I've been doing.
That you have. Voice of the Racing Louisville and Louisville City. it's a commitment and a half driving back and forth from the Queen City to 502.
A lot of games called in the 502 this year. 3-0's your score, 18:50 remaining in the first half. Day Thomas going to hand it off at the top to Chom. Chom's going to go back to Abayev. Abayev with his left hand is going to take that three at the top. That's no good off the backboard. Rebound goes to Conwell. Here's Conwell up the left side, going straight in on Krisa. He's going to be called on the foul. Blocking foul called against Kirk Krisa, who is familiar with this Cardinal team as well, the transfer from Kentucky.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good 50-50 call down there on the floor. As both of them, a lot of contact between the two, and it could really go either way, as the Cincinnati faithful not going to like that. Cincinnati fans off to our right, and Louisville fans off to our left. A very distinct difference between the red and black here in the arena.
Conwell with it for Louisville. Sends it down low to Hadley. Hadley inside the paint on the left side. Going to go up on Abayev. No good off the back iron. Rebound goes to Sham. Sham's going to hand it off to Thomas as Thomas starts to work it up the floor for Cincinnati. Abayev looking down low to Miller. Here's Baba Miller in the starting five for the Big 12 in the opening week of play. One of the top 5 players from the first week. Kirk Krisa for 3. That's no good. Rebound attempted by Miller. It's going to be grabbed by McNeely.
Baba Miller tried to swat that away, try and get the offensive glass. Just wrong place, wrong time to kind of swat that.
Conwell, spin move inside the paint, kicks it back outside to Frew. He hands it off to Brown. Brown got Abayev to bite. 3 is up. That's no good. Battle for the rebound down low is won by Krisa. Comes Kirk Krisa with some speed up the left side to Day Thomas. Thomas drives towards the basket, and that's good. Cincinnati's on the board.
You can launch up your shredded newspapers in the air. First points for Cincinnati, a powerful
paint.
That one I'm not too sure. I had to look at the replay here, and we're gonna. And the thing about the replays on the video board here tonight are that it's going to be the ESPN broadcast. This is being broadcast nationally on ESPN2 for a big rivalry game. So we're going to see the last replay, which will not be helpful for what I'm trying to analyze here. But it was another tough, almost 50-50 call down low inside the paint. Got tripped up on each other. Sham's going to get the foul called on him, but definitely going to be chippy. And I mean, you're going to expect that here for a rivalry game of this caliber.
Woolley enters the game for Louisville. Brown's second is up. That's no good. He made the first, so it's 4-2 Louisville. 17:40 remains in the first half. Day Thomas, right side, drives towards the basket. High off the glass, no good. He's going to get his own rebound. Back to Krisa. Thought about the 3. Hands it off to Abayev. Abayev up for 3. That's no good. Battle for the board. It's going to be going out of bounds, and a foul is going to be called against Louisville.
See, and that's the thing you don't want to see for Cincinnati. That's a wide open three for Sean Abayev. You have to find a way to knock that down. And Sean Abayev, one of the highest rated recruits in Cincinnati history, he's been electric, but this is one of the toughest opponents he's faced in his short career.
Ball thrown into Abayev in that right corner. He's going to take the 3, falling backwards. That's no good. He went to the ground. A battle for the offensive board somehow comes to Day Thomas at midcourt. Inside, Sham. He takes the little finger roll up and floats it in.
I mean, I'll take that where he can get it.
4-4 is your score. Quick 3 from Conwell. That's no good. Rebound goes to Abayev. Cincinnati looking for a chance to take the lead with 17 to go here in the first half. Abayev wants to take it himself. Fadeaway jumper from the post is no good. He looks for his own board. It's gathered by Louisville.
Abayev is just awfully quiet, uncharacteristically at that. A couple of big misses, especially early, one being on a wide open 3.
Woolley's quick 3 is up. That's no good. Offensive board goes to Frew. That's no good as well. And the rebound to Cincinnati. Down the right side, Krisa throws it up to Miller. Miller to Abayev. Corner 3 from Abayev is good. Sean Abayev gets Cincinnati a 3-point lead.
How about that assist from Baba Miller? And it doesn't get any better than that.
7-4 Cincinnati leads. 16:30 remaining in the first half. Louisville with possession, looking inside, stolen away by Abayev. Pressure from the Bearcats here as they work it down the left side. Abayev takes up the floor for him. Has it in his left hand as he's on the left wing. Up towards the midcourt it goes to Kirk Krisa. Sends it right back to Sean Abayev. Abayev looking around, guarded closely by Woolley. Going to hand it off to Thomas. Thomas inside to Sham. Sham had some space, floats it up and in. Sham with another, and Cincinnati leads by 5.
The Bearcats have found a way to catch Louisville on their back heel, forcing some bad shots.
Brown's 3 is up, no good off the back iron. Offensive board goes to Hadley.
The danger is going to be these offensive boards as well for Louisville. Give them more chances. They're bound to knock something down.
9-4 is your score with 15:45 remaining to go in the first. Brown working it back up to Hadley. Hadley at the top of the key, guarded by Krisa. Going to hand it off to Woolley. Woolley's working now on Krisa as well. Goes into the paint, and the foul is going to go against Krisa. One side of the arena can't believe it. Other one loves it.
An interesting call, I'll say, on the floor, because everybody was losing their footing who was involved in that play. So definitely an interesting take on the floor.
7-0 run for the Bearcats in the last minute 40, a scoring drought for Louisville in the last 2. 9-4 is your score, 15:35 to go in the first half. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back inside the Heritage Bank Center here in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio. A neutral site matchup between the Louisville Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bearcats. First time meeting here in the mainland United States since 2014. Teams that used to play every single year in the same conference. They were in multiple conferences together. The Metro, the Conference USA, the Big East, and then inevitably the American for a year. Teams that know each other very well, to say the least. A couple players in here know each other very well as well. Ryan Conwell, of course, the transfer from Xavier, playing for this Louisville team. We talk about Kirk Kriisa, the transfer from Kentucky, playing for this Cincinnati team. So some rivals that have come back and met in this game.
Absolutely, and I want to point something out too. We were talking about this in the break, is that Cincinnati, this game that's been played here for now 3 years is just an odd place to play. And it's been low scoring every year so far. The last time that Cincinnati played a team here was against Dayton on December 20th of 2024. And at this timestamp, 15:35, currently it's 9-4. Last time it was this time left in the half, Cincinnati was leading 8-2. So there's a bit of a comparison going on here between these two games. Cincinnati's already scored, granted, 1 point, as opposed to 1 point more as opposed to last year. But I digress. It's a really random fact that I really wanted to look at.
There's been a couple similarities I've noticed too. I don't know if you remember watching that game last year. Me and Chase Yance were here in the same exact spot. Day Thomas, early here, he's been driving towards the basket. Something we saw last year against Dayton as well. His first basket, he took it himself from half court up the left side of the lane. Just put it up and in. It's very similar to what we saw last year.
And a strong drive that was too. And I mean, 2 points, 1 for 2 already is Day Thomas, but he's also spreading the ball around very well. 2 assists already on the day with 2 rebounds as well. And not to mention the very, very clean assist from Baba Miller. I'm still thinking about it. It's gonna be rent-free in my head for the rest of the night.
I do want to mention 2 fouls on Kirk Kriisa early in this game. Keep an eye on that as he's on the bench now for Cincinnati. A steal by Buck Harris right underneath the basket, and here come the Bearcats. Some subs in for them. That's Keyshawn Tillery. Gives it off to McKinley. Now on the left side, it's Baba Miller. Baba Miller working towards the top of the key, hands it back to Tillery. Keyshawn Tillery, one of the star freshmen for the Cincinnati team. Back to the left, Sincere Buck Harris, the transfer from West Virginia. Now a touch from the transfer from FAU, Baba Miller. Well, the only returner for Cincinnati, Day Thomas, has it on the right side. A whistle is blown against the Cardinals, as once again Thomas tried to drive towards the basket, this time on the right.
I believe that's a foul on Isaac McNeely. This play was blown dead. It'll just be a simple reset on the baseline, but a big foul for Cincinnati in terms of momentum too, because I feel like Cincinnati fans kind of have the same feeling as well, is that a lot of the fouls have been called on the Bearcats so far, and change of pace. Cincinnati getting the benefit of the doubt.
15 to go in the first half. Bearcats lead 9-4 with the possession. Here's Cincinnati on the left side. Make that right side with Day Thomas to Keyshawn Tillery, right side inside the arc. Tillery working it back towards the charity stripe. Now left side of the lane, tries to lay it up and in. Rebound's going to go to Kason Pryor of Louisville. He sees his first minutes of action in this one.
I do want to say good footwork from Pryor along the baseline, able to keep his back heel off that line.
Khalifa tried to send one inside to McNeely. It's going to be a kickball against Tyler McKinley. So it's going to be an inbound for Louisville on the right sideline.
And fun facts as well, Ali Khalifa, transfer from BYU. His brother played at Cincinnati for a couple of years as well.
His sister played at UC.
Oh, his sister. It said his brother on, one sibling. Excuse me.
Three is up from the corner from McNeely. That's no good. Rebound goes to Tyler McKinley. McKinley up to Miller. Miller with some space. He takes up the floor. Into the paint. Dishes it off. It's up and off the glass and in. Sincere Buck Harris gets the bucket.
First of all, thanks for keeping me honest. Second of all, amazing play down low for Cincinnati. And now's the time for the Bearcats to figure out their offensive rhythm, especially against one of the best teams in the country.
11-4 is your score in favor of Cincinnati with 14:15 to go in the first half. Top of the key. Khalifa has it for Louisville. He's working inside slowly on McKinley. Picked up his dribble. Outside to Pryor. His three is up. Rattles in and out. And the rebound goes to Buck Harris.
And an oddly quiet game shooting for the Cardinals. Nothing has been made from three-point land for Louisville.
Cats tried to work it along the baseline. It was knocked out of bounds, though, by Louisville. That was Kobe Rogers, the native of Cincinnati, Ohio, knocking that one out. Some subs are going to come in for Louisville along with Cincinnati. And it's your first of Jalen Celestine in this one as he replaces Day Thomas. So you got 5 players on the court for Cincinnati that did not play for them last year.
Absolutely. And you look at just how they've gelled so far. 4-0 on the season, a big win against Dayton at home, and an even bigger chance to show what they have here tonight against Louisville.
11-4 with 14 minutes to go in the first half. Cincinnati leads. Jalen Celestine right at the top of the key. Hands it off to Baba Miller. Miller floats one up to McKinley, and he slams it home.
The faithful Bearcat fans are going to love that one. How about that from Tyler McKinley getting up there?
Cats lead by 9. Brown trying to generate some offense for Louisville. Khalifa's three is up. That's no good off the back iron. Rebound to Cincinnati. Harris up the right side, poked away by Pryor. It's going to go out of bounds, though. So attempted defensive work there from Pryor, but lucky break for Cincinnati.
And I want to point out again that the Cardinals have not made a shot from the field tonight. The only points that they have so far are from the free throw line. They are 4 of 5 from the charity stripe, nothing from downtown, nothing from anywhere for the Cardinals, which is extremely uncharacteristic as they are one of the top shooting teams in the ACC.
One of the top shooting teams in the nation. This is a team that's averaging 103 points a game, and so far through just under 7 minutes, Cincinnati's holding up 4 points. Cincinnati with the ball. Tyler McKinley has it, 20 on the shot clock. 13-4 is your score. Celestine tries to kick it to Miller. It was deflected off of Brown. Now Miller works inside the paint. He's tied up with Khalifa. Whistle's going to be blown. Neither wants to let go of the ball. We actually saw something earlier this year with Baba Miller where he did not want to let go of the ball, and a technical foul was assessed to Dayton. So you see, they're still not letting go of it. Finally, Miller lets go. Just a thing with Baba Miller, I guess.
He wants it. The rock is his, and he will never let it go.
Both crowds get into it now. So you can feel the energy of this rivalry. It was a jump ball. It seems like there's some discussion. I do want to point out Wes Miller has lost the sport coat.
Oh, I was going to say.
So the over/under on that was about 4 minutes, and I think we hit the over somehow.
I think we did hit the over. I meant to mention that at the top of the show that Wes Miller, he's gone back to the coats, and I need to talk to one of my friends. They used to do a Wes Miller jacket watch every game, and they were very consistent. They would always mark the timestamps. He took it off.
Day Thomas quickly with the ball. Takes the contact, floats it up. He'll go to the line for 2. Cincinnati right now on a 13-1 scoring run over the last 4.5 minutes. Louisville hasn't scored in the last 4:20.
Which is both bizarre and absolutely insane that this is what we're looking at here. Cincinnati coming into this game, who were picked to finish 8th in the Big 12 in the coaches poll, 9th in the media poll, received votes in the beginning of the season, is currently dominating the Cardinals who were picked to finish second in the ACC. First free throw for Jaden Thomas is knocked down and good. But this is bizarre. Are these Bearcats for real?
We'll see as this game goes on. 10-point lead for the Bearcats right now. 13-19 to go in the first half. Thomas's second is up, and that's good as well. With that an 11-point lead for Cincinnati. Jaden knocks both down. He's up to 4 in this game.
Jaden Thomas, he's consistent as they get. The only returning starter for Wes Miller's Bearcats and one of the best free throw shooters on the season so far, shooting 94%.
Kel Brown takes up the floor for the Cardinals. 13-10 remain. Cincinnati leads 15-4. Right side, Brown now inside the arc, working towards the paint, kicks it to Khalifa. Khalifa is going to look for a cutting Conwell, instead goes back to Brown. Brown working towards the basket, floats it up the glass, that's no good. Rebound goes to Cincinnati. Tillery takes up the floor, over to Miller. Baba Miller right towards the basket, can't put it away. Offensive board to Cincinnati. Buck Harris on the left side. Harris looking around. Works it now inside the arc. He's got help to his left. That's Baba Miller. Sends it to him. Miller right on this left wing. He's going to take the three. Floats it up. That's no good off the back iron. Good defensive work from Louisville there to grab the rebound. Here come the Cardinals. Khalifa has it. Looking around. Finds Brown right underneath the basket. And he puts it up and in. Ends the Cardinals scoring drought at over 5 minutes.
It also ends the fact that the Cardinals have not scored anything from the field the entire game.
First field goal of the night. They're 1 for 11. Card Nation comes to their feet here at Heritage Bank Center as well.
I also want to point out Wes Miller is standing on the floor right now.
Down low, McKinley lost possession, and that's going to give this Card Nation even more to cheer about. That's a turnover for Cincinnati. It's going to be just their second of the night.
This game is nuts, and it's been 8 minutes. So much has happened. So much has not happened that should happen, which makes things odd because they should be happening, but they're not.
It's definitely not the crowd that they wanted here at Heritage Bank Center. There's a little bit of sparseness up in the end zones in the second level, but this crowd's into it. You can feel the energy here, just like you did last year when Dayton came to town. It's very similar. Fans traveled up I-71 for this one.
And I would imagine that they would, and this game means everything to Cincinnati and Louisville fans alike because of the rivalry and how much it means to both cities.
So Louisville with possession, 12 to go in the first half. Cincinnati leads 15-6. Brown floats one up. He's looking for Frew, too much on it. Another turnover for the Cardinals. That's their fourth of the night. That's
good defensive coverage down low by Sham. Was really able to lock down his man and force the turnover. Just got a little bit over the top of Sanandra Frew.
So Cincinnati leads 15-6 here, under 12 media timeout. We'll be back with more here shortly on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back inside the Heritage Bank Center, the Hoops Classic between the number 6 ranked Louisville Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Aidan Riggs along with Ethan Herzog here on Bearcats Sports Radio. Bearcats lead this one 15-6 after just about 8 minutes of action here from downtown. It's gone about exactly how Cincinnati would have wanted a 13-2 run over the last 5.5.
And to boot, a 1 of 11 shooting day for Louisville collectively as a team, which you look at how the Cardinals are typically shooting. They shoot on average 50% from the field, 36% from free, 73% from the charity stripe. Today they have shot 9% from the field, have not made a single triple, and are 80% from the free throw line. This is, we were talking about this before, this is the day that Cincinnati wanted when it came to the Cardinals on offense. It's just to have the worst shooting day possible.
This is a Louisville team that's shooting 50% from the field on the season.
Yes.
They're shooting 50. Like, that's an absurdly high number.
Absolutely.
For what we're seeing. This team averaging over 103 points a game. They lead the ACC in assists per game and free throws made per game. There's a while there, free throws were all they were getting.
Yeah. For a while, it was 4 to X number for Cincinnati, and the 4 points that Louisville scored were off of 2 trips to the free throw line, where Brown was able to knock down 3. McNeely knocked down 1 of 2.
Cincinnati with the inbound as Louisville applies a light full-court press on them, a little reminiscent to some of the older coaches you've seen from Louisville applying presses, a.k.a. Rick Pitino. Down the left side, here's Sean Abayev. He's going to give it back to Buck Harris, and right back to Day Thomas it goes. 15-6 is your score in favor of Cincinnati, 11:35 remaining in the first half. Thomas on the left side, working back to the right, gives it to Sean Abayev. Right corner, it goes to Celestine. Celestine still battling with some injuries. He loses possession, goes out of bounds. It's going to go in favor of Louisville.
And we said it before. There's something about this floor, and year in and year out with the Hoops Classic, there has just been a problem with how slick the floor is, with how loose the floor gets after it gets played on for so long. It's been a problem, and it's caused injuries, especially to Aziz Bandaogo a couple of years ago. The first matchup between Cincinnati and Louisville, he went down with an injury due to it.
Not to bring up Rick Pitino again, but you mentioned a slick court. We were in a hockey arena. We do want to bring that up. There is an ice rink beneath the court.
There is.
And if you know anything about Rick Pitino, he did not like Freedom Hall having the river frogs in there because players were slipping on the floor. Anyway, back to the left side. Louisville has possession. Was looking for Hadley. Knocked out of bounds by Jalen Celestine. It's going to be an inbound pass for Louisville on that left sideline.
And you also have to realize, too, this arena is old. This is an old arena.
I'm not trying to say anything with the ice rink, but it's something that comes to mind.
It definitely could be something, especially because it's right under
I did get a text earlier from someone sitting on the floor right now that said it is chilly down there.
I believe it.
So inbounded by Louisville, only 7 on the shot clock. Brown from way downtown, all the way from Louisville, and that's no good. Rebound goes to Thomas. Thomas sends it up to Miller on the right side. Miller able to find Harris. Harris worked it inside the arc, working on Brown. He's going to kick it outside. Here's Day Thomas, left side of the arc. Gives it to Abayev. Abayev looking down low to Sham. Sham working around. He's guarded closely by Fruit. Takes the floater. That's good. A beautiful shot there from Mustafa Sham.
Now it ends a scoring drought the last 2 minutes for Cincinnati, and if they want to keep in this game, they're going to have to find ways to score the basketball.
3 is up from Conwell. That's good. Conwell made that one from Norwood where he used to play. 17-9 is your score here in Cincinnati. 10:30 remaining in the first half. Day Thomas at the top of the key, hands it off to Sean Abayev. Abayev working from left to right, finds Baba Miller. Miller's going to hand it off now to Buck Harris. Harris on the right side, finds Chom. Chom working from right to left at the top of the key, and he finds Miller on the left wing. Baba Miller inside the paint, tries to kick it outside. Too much on the pass. Day couldn't corral it. It's going to go for a backcourt violation. It might have just rolled out of bounds, really, against Cincinnati. It's going to be an inbound for Louisville either way.
Whether it was backcourt or out of bounds is up for interpretation just based off of how it angled as it crossed the half-court stripe. But a pass off the back foot for Baba Miller, a little bit behind Day Thomas. And unfortunately, they play basketball. They don't play football. So contorting their bodies like a wide receiver isn't exactly their MO.
That's going on at Paycor Stadium right now in that big-time matchup that involves Coach Pat Kelsey. But anyway, here's Louisville with possession at the top of the key. Working inside is Frew. Frew with a spin move in the paint. Floats it up. No good. Offensive board to the Cardinals. Conwell, top of the key. He'll take the 3. That's no good off the side of the iron. The rebound goes to Sham.
Oh, when you got a wingspan like that, he was able to snatch that. The ball would technically cross the baseline, but he grabbed it, snatched its way back in.
Cincinnati on the right side. Sean Abayev for three. That's no good off the back iron. A battle for the board is won by Mikael Brown.
And that's something that you don't want to see. Sean Abayev only 3 points on the night. He's been awfully quiet. You're going to need him to step up.
Mikael Brown for three. There he is. There is the star freshman knocking it down. We have a foul on the floor. They're going to say basket's good, and the foul's going to go against the Cardinals, it looks like.
It's like Kirk Risa was down. Foul goes on Adrian Woolley, the Kennesaw State transfer, a native of Tuscaloosa. I guess a little extra bump towards the, absolutely. And just a little bit too hard of a shove on the pass, or on the attempt down low. Risa got knocked to the floor. Seems to be okay, though. As
you said, Woolley, the freshman of the year last year in the Conference USA, is one of the star players, also all first team in CUSA as well. 17-12 is your score here. Cincinnati in front with 9 to go in the first half. Right side, Baba Miller working closely alongside Roots. Roots, that's too much contact there on Kenai Roots, so it's going to be an inbound for Cincinnati on the right.
And yet again, Baba Miller slipped on his back foot. That floor is slick, and the reasoning could be anything. The condensation from the cooling systems under the rink, anything else, but it's going to be a thing to watch out for as we go on with this game.
It's funny I brought up Rick Pitino and the Louisville River Frogs. This next year, these teams will play at Freedom Hall, where all that happened as well. But here we go on the left side. Sean Abayev working towards the right side. Hands it off to Sham. Sham thought about Day Thomas. Instead goes to Krisa on the right. Krisa, great pass back to Sham. Sham with some contact as he went towards the basket. No whistle, and here comes Louisville. Woolley with some speed, kicks it outside. Thought about the three. Now the three's going to go up from Rogers. That's good. Kobe Rogers in his hometown knocks down the three, and the Cards have life.
And this is not what you want to see if you're a Bearcat fan. The Cardinals are getting hot, and it's a 2-point game.
Card Nation comes alive as the Ville traveled to the Natty. 17-15 is your score with 8.5 to go in the first half. Thomas towards the basket, floats it up, no good. Rebound goes to the Cardinals. Here comes Louisville down the right side. In the hands of Roots. Roots going to look towards the left side to Frew. Frew goes right back to Woolley. Woolley's in that left corner. He's working on Sham towards the basket. Puts it up off the glass and in. We are tied at 17, and the 5:02 is loud in the 5-1-3.
And that is a big bucket down low, forced through traffic. We're all tied up.
Under 8 to go in the first half. Tied at 17 between Cincinnati and Louisville. A lot of red on their feet here at Heritage Bank Center. We're getting an off-ball foul against the Cardinals. So you hear that red that's standing up, boo off of that call.
Oof.
That's going to be our timeout here. But Louisville, all of a sudden, all of those trends that we were seeing with Cincinnati, we're now seeing with Louisville. Louisville on a 13-2 scoring run over the last 4.5 minutes, 11-0 run over the last 2.5, 3 for 3 on their last 3.
Basketball's a game of runs, and that's
shout
what this game's going to. Shout out Chase Yance. And he will live on through that statement for the rest of time. Chase, I'm talking to you. This is going to be a game, and the Bearcats and the Cardinals are going to just go at it. It has been rough. It's been physical. They're both teams now shooting lights out. This is going to be exciting.
This is a Louisville program that went through some very down years in the past couple. Of course, with head coach Kenny Payne, kind of a bottom feeder of the ACC for 2 or 3 years while he was at the helm. Pat Kelsey comes in, and you can hear it in this crowd. There's energy in the 502, in the Yum Center every single game this year. It has been loud, it has been crowded, and they took this short drive up to Cincinnati tonight.
And dare I say that the reason why this Cardinals team plays with such force, with such tenacity, is because Pat Kelsey is from the Queen City, a town that bleeds college basketball.
Some extra motivation for him tonight.
Extra motivation. I mean, he's a Xavier grad. He's been a part of the Crosstown Shootout for many a year. He coached high school basketball at Elder, his alma mater in high school. This guy bleeds 5-1-3. He bleeds purple. He bleeds blue. A chance to beat Cincinnati in the 5-1-3, no matter who he's coaching for, is going to be a huge win for Pat Kelsey in his homecoming.
Pat Kelsey is very familiar as well with Wes Miller. He talked a lot about they've done some close scrimmages before when he especially was in North Carolina coaching. He actually tried to recruit Wes Miller at one point before he went to North Carolina. So Pat Kelsey's very familiar with what Wes Miller does. Definitely helped them in the planning aspect of tonight. But there's energy in this arena, and it's all for the red and black of Louisville, not for Cincinnati right now.
And you got to clarify, because both these teams are red.
Makes it tough to
black.
tell. It makes it tough to tell who is cheering for who here. On a couple of the plays or the fouls, a lot of people on the Cincinnati side are standing up when they probably should be staying in their seat if they're cheering for Cincinnati. So you think Louisville's bled over a little bit tonight.
And I think the majority of the Bearcat fans are wearing black, I think. But also, like we said, we don't know. We just have no idea. I think it's split right down the middle at mid-court between the Cincinnati fans and the Louisville fans, but
definitely different from last year. Last year there was a definitive line, you might remember, as you were on the all red and black in that corner. That was the debut game as well for the Black Cat uniforms. Cincinnati's wearing tonight.
It is, and they are some of the cleanest uniforms in college basketball, and I will stand by that statement till the day I die. These Black Cat uniforms are some of the best in college basketball, and that's the thing about Bearcat Athletics is they have some of the best uniform combinations and best uniforms hands down out of all of college sports. You look at football, you look at basketball, you look at baseball. These are some of the cleanest uniforms ever.
I am a huge Stranger Things fan. I don't know how big of a Stranger Things fan you are.
You're talking about the football.
I'm talking about the football. I want to shout out the Bearcats digital crew for that one.
That was a good one.
They deserve this shout out for that one.
I am way behind on Stranger Things, I will say.
New season comes out Wednesday, by the way.
It's time to binge, so I'm going to binge season 1 tomorrow, season 2 the next day. Had plenty of shows to catch up on.
So teams come back to the court. It's going to be an inbound for Cincinnati on the baseline, 20 on the shot clock. We're knotted at 17 here at Heritage Bank Center, a neutral site matchup in downtown Cincinnati. It's about 10 or so minutes off the campus of Cincinnati, depending on which way you go. About an hour and a half outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Hour 45 potentially with traffic as well. I've had that be 2 hours for me before.
I have also had it be 2 hours. I was in Louder Than Life I was down in Louisville for Louder Than Life in September, and that traffic back and forth was no joke.
Right next to Freedom Hall was Louder Than Life as well. Ball goes inside to Buck Harris. Now it's going to kick it outside to Day Thomas. Thomas top the key, back to Harris, looking down low to Miller. Too much contact there from Kobe Rogers. He'll be whistled the foul. That's going to send Cincinnati to the line as it's the 7th foul of the night against the Cardinals.
And that's a good place to be. In 7:42 left in the half, Cardinals over the limit. Chance to pull away. Cincinnati needs another chance to pull away. They need to go on another run and make something happen both offensively and defensively. They've been caught on their back heel on both sides of the ball.
Baba Miller at the line, the transfer from FAU, misses the first one. Offensive board to Tyler McKinley. Cincinnati working around the arc. 3 up from Thomas. No good. Another battle for the board is won by Louisville. Here come the Cardinals. Up the center of the court, make that right side of the court was Roots. Roots handed it off. Now he's got it once again. Roots still on the right side inside the arc, battling alongside Baba Miller. Looking at good cutting. Rogers, they're going to kick it back outside to Roots. Roots is 3, rattles in and out. Board goes to Cincinnati.
That's just unlucky.
Right side, Buck Harris towards the basket underneath. Sent it outside to Baba Miller. Kirk Creasa, top of the 3, no good. Battle for the board is also won by Cincinnati. Another offensive board. Day Thomas picks up his dribble inside the paint, dishes off to McKinley. Tyler McKinley beneath the basket. Back out to Kirk Creasa. Creasa's 3, rattles in and out. The rims remain tight inside Heritage Bank Center. Here's Louisville. Ali Khalifa at the top. Finds a cutting Ryan Conwell. The Louisville Cardinals have thought about taking the lead. It just falls out. Conwell almost had it, but he got fouled on the way. He'll head to the line for 2.
Are we at Kings Island? Did they bring the rims in from those basketball games that are up on the Coney Mall strip? I mean, these rims, they're not giving at all. The first 3 bounced around about 5 times and then ended up out on the court after ringing off the back iron. The second 3 from Kirk Creasa bounced off, then back onto the floor, and then that finger roll just rolled off.
Ryan Conwell at the line First one's up and good. Louisville has a lead. The Cardinals retake the lead.
First time since the beginning of the game.
First time since 58 seconds into the game when they led by 3. So 18-17 is your score. Shauna Baev will re-enter for Cincy. Going to replace Day Thomas. The crowd still into this one. 6:48 to go here in the first half. First matchup for Pat Kelsey, playing against Cincinnati when he wasn't a Xavier Musketeer. Only a rivalry that's almost as big as the crosstown shootout. Still not quite up there, but a close second.
Definitely a close second. It's also one of the ones that's been happening for the longest amount of time.
Right side, Cincinnati has it. Kirk Kriesa got right across the midcourt, and Louisville applies the pressure. McKinley, Harris, left side, Shauna Baev. Good pump fake on the 3. Here it is. That's good. Shauna Baev knocks down the corner 3.
Reclaims a 1-point lead. Shauna Baev's got to keep that up.
Cincinnati leads 20-19. 3 is up from Conwell. That's no good. Board goes to Cincinnati. A chance to extend their lead with 6:20 to go in the first half. Buck Harris powerfully through the paint and one. Sincere Buck Harris put it up and under, draws the foul and one, and Cincinnati can extend their 3-point lead.
Buck Harris looking for a $150 on that drive to the rim. I mean, how about that? That dude is not human. In just the pure physicality that this guy has, it's insane to watch. He took one too many steps with the left, but still has the composure and the balance to send it up with the right.
Buck Harris, the transfer. I'm only going to call him Buck. I know his real first name is Sincere. Buck is just too good as he makes the free throw. Transfer from West Virginia. All Big 12 defensive team last year. As Cincinnati leads 23-19 with 6 to go in the first half. Right side, Louisville has it. Working inside is Brown. Brown floats up to Khalifa. Khalifa with a good fake, but it was poked out by Buck Harris. Let's talk about his defensive work. You see it right there.
I reiterate, this guy, not human, and sometimes he does things by pure accident. He swatted up to get the block, but on his way down, Khalifa wasn't expecting it, was holding the ball just a little bit too far, a little bit too loose, and was smacked out of bounds.
Talk about a game of run, 6-0 run for Cincinnati over the last 30 seconds.
Chase, we hope you're listening.
Louisville inbounds it. It was deflected by Baba Miller, and he comes away with it. Here's Miller down the left side. He's going to slow down as he gets towards the arc. Going to hand it off to Kirk Kriesa. Kriesa over to Abayev. Abayev looking down low, just throws it right into the hands of Kason Pryor.
Just bad pass.
Here comes Louisville. Michael Brown takes it up for him on the right side. He goes inside the arc, battling with Harris. He goes up with the shot. No good off the backboard. It's going to be 2 shots coming for him as another foul goes against Harris, his second.
Harris on the season, I mean, he averages 2.8 fouls a game. He's already up to, I believe that being his first. But he's not afraid to play physical, and sometimes it does bite him in an unfortunate place.
So Brown at the line, trailing by 4, 5:39 remains. First one roused its way in, 3-point game with 5:39 remaining.
And honestly, Cincinnati's in a good spot. Having a lead over Louisville at all is a great place to be in because you were not favored heading into this game.
Brown, co-player of the week last week in the ACC, averaged 24 points over 2 games along with 6 rebounds, shot 48% from the field. The second one's up and good. 2-point ball game here in Cincinnati. Bearcats lead 23-21. 5:35 remaining. Louisville applies a light press on Cincinnati. Day Thomas got it across midcourt to the left side to Kriesa. It goes right back to Thomas off of that midcourt logo. Kriesa left side back to Celestine, who's newly into the game. McKinley tries a spin move on Pryor. He's met quickly, though. Make that Sham down low. Up to Abayev. Abayev from way outside. Shot clock dwindling down. Draws the foul from outside the arc. He still made the 3. It won't count. But it's going to head to the line for shots. Team's 9th, so it's going to be 1-1 for Shauna Baev from the line.
What was the foul outside of the 3-point marker? Because then it would be 1-1. No?
Should just be 1-1.
It will be 1-1. I think I'm just making stuff up.
23-21 is your score, 5:13 remaining. Sean Abayev at the line for this 1+1. First one's up, no good. And the board is going to be knocked out of bounds by Cincinnati. Free throws have been the killer for this team in the past couple years. Hasn't been smooth sailing so far.
It is not. Free throw shooting has just been the thorn in the Bearcats' side for, I think, about 5 years now. As long as I've been in college, they have not been able to shoot free throws.
Which is 5 years, by the way.
Which is 5 years.
Kason Pryor on the left side. Hands it off to Javon Hadley. Hadley looking around. He's going to give it back to McNeely. Some of the starters out there for Louisville. Make this almost starting five, except for Pryor. Three is up from McNeely. Rattles in and out. Battle for the rebound. Goes off of the Cardinals. Going to be an inbound for Cincinnati. The 4:43 remaining here in the first half.
A little bit of chaos there. Goes Cincinnati's way. Now the Cardinals are back to having a bit of a struggle in terms of shooting, and it seems like there's an injured Cardinal under the basket. He's holding on. It looks like it may be something wrong with his eye.
Javon Hadley down there. He is holding his face.
He got poked or elbowed or something of the sort.
Heading back to the Louisville bench. We're going to bring in Frew to replace him.
Yeah, checked out by Katie Kresnick. It looks like he may have just gotten bonked square in the forehead. Which, I mean,
bonked is a great description of that.
I always use the word bonked. You'll hear it on even nationally radio broadcasted games.
23-21 is your score in favor of Cincinnati. 4:30 to go in the first half. Baseline works it to Celestine. Sean Abayev thought about the three, drives towards the basket to Tillery in the right corner. He thought about taking the three. Thomas for three. That's good. Day Thomas from deep. Cats lead by 5.
The ball movement for Cincinnati has been immaculate. I mean, they're able to not take the shots that they want to take and be unselfish and kick it out as many times as they want until they find that good shot.
7 points, 3 rebounds for Thomas in this one. Brown right side inside the arc, just off the post. Good pivot move there to go around Celestine. Now inside the paint, Frew has it. He backed down Abayev and put it up and in, just float it right over top of him.
I also want to point out that the entire assistant coaching staff had their hands up and was telling Sean Abayev to box out underneath. And I thought that was really entertaining, watching them all react to Sean Abayev.
Under 4 to go in the first half. Ball is thrown away by Keyshawn Tillery. Looked like he just lost control of it. But it's going to go out of bounds in favor of Louisville. Timeout on the floor. Cincinnati leads 26-23 with 3:39 remaining here in the first half. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Final 4 minutes of the first half here from the Heritage Bank Center in downtown Cincinnati. Cincinnati leads 26-23 over the 6th-ranked Louisville Cardinals, a rivalry that's over a century old, 104 years to be exact, 100 meetings exactly between these two schools here in the 101st meeting at this neutral site. And Ethan, It's been back and forth, a lot of game of runs. We talk about it all the time in college basketball, particularly with Chase Yance. But Cincinnati, with 3 for their last 3 from the field, they're feeling it more offensively than we were really expecting in this one.
Absolutely, and that's kind of been the most shocking thing of this whole ball game is that Cincinnati out-shooting the Cardinals by 40% to the Cardinals 27, 25% from downtown. The Cardinals are shooting 20%. And this is a Cardinal team that we've been talking about this throughout the entire broadcast so far. Louisville shoots 50% from the field, which is just an asinine number when you think about shooting at all. But 50% is nuts even for a player.
They're holding them to half of that tonight.
Yes.
This is exactly what Cincinnati wanted to do. You heard Wes Miller say you wanted to take them out of the game as much as you could, especially around the perimeter, where they've done so much damage so far this year, shooting 36% from 3. But you got guys.
2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. 2 assists in 12 minutes on the hardwood. Dede Thomas leading the Bearcats with 7. 2 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the charity stripe, and 1 from downtown with 2 assists, 3 rebounds in 14 minutes of play. It's been a game, to say the least, and a low-scoring game.
It's kind of what it's not what Louisville would have expected. I think it's not what most Louisville fans would have expected either with how the Cards have played this season. But if you're Cincinnati, this is exactly how you would have scripted this up. You knew coming into this arena, the rims play a little tighter than what you're used to. It could be the same rims from the 90s when they used to play here.
Absolutely.
But still, it's what Cincinnati would have wanted.
Talked to Paul Frischner beforehand, and he said if the Bearcat defense can find a way to muck things up and play stout defensively, they can have a chance, and here we are, 26-23.
Michael Brown takes up the floor for Louisville. 3:30 to go here in the first half. Cincinnati leads 26-23. Brown, just off that midcourt logo, working towards the left side, takes a screen at the top. He gets fouled all the way up as he went driving towards the basket. He's going to head to the line for 2.
It's going to be Tyler McKinley. Excuse me. Dede Thomas, his first. 3:19 left in the first half. Team's 7th, so now 1-1 for Louisville.
So at the line for Louisville once again is Michael Brown Jr. on the Wooden Award preseason top 50 list, still on the watch list as the start of the season. Truly one of the top players in the country. I heard earlier today, I was on ESPN Louisville pregame doing a segment with James Strebel. He talked about this is a guy that's projected to go top 6 in the draft next year. But the second one is good as well. 1-point ball game. 26-25 is your score with 3:19 to go in the first half.
I mean, if that's true, that would be back-to-back years. The Louisville Cardinals have had an NBA draft pick. Chuck Hepburn went to the Raptors last season.
3 to go. Cincinnati with possession. Left side, Dede Thomas. Thomas looking around as he works towards the right side. Backing down his man, goes towards the paint. Got contact on the way up. It's not the whistle going to be blown, though, as here comes Louisville on the counter. Louisville down the right side. Conwell dribbles with it at the top. Hands it off now to Frew. Frew left side, a little bit too much aggression on that one as Kirk Kriisa draws the charge.
That time, Kriisa got the call that he wanted, stepped right in front. He was able to give himself up and draw the foul, and a big-time foul at that with 2:46 left in the half. Bearcats only lead by 1. They really need to get this offense going.
Second foul on Frew in this one. 1-point lead for Cincinnati, 2:46 to go in the first half. Kriisa to inbound it, full court press from the Cardinals. Kriisa got it in, quickly to Celestine, right back to Kriisa it goes, takes it across midcourt, guarded closely by Isaac McNeely. Kriisa, left hand, hands it off to Thomas. Thomas takes a screen from Miller, right back to Kriisa it goes. Kriisa right side of the floor to Thomas, now to left side to Baba Miller. Miller, the leading players for Cincinnati this season, inside the paint, up and off the glass and good. Took some contact, makes the basket. Cincinnati leads by 3.
And it looked like Miller maybe took a couple extra steps.
Brown looked to tight it from deep, went off of the front of the rim and out of bounds, possession to Cincinnati.
The Louisville fans are not happy after those 2 plays. It looked like Miller had taken a couple of extra steps and as he was driving in.
You see on the replay play too, he also gets a hook in there pretty strongly against Roots. Wasn't called though.
Was not.
Basket goes to Cincinnati. They lead by 3. Miller with his first points of this ballgame as well. Louisville's done a good job of locking him up. 3 assists on the night though. Inside, working inside the paint was Tyler McKinley. He sends it out to Thomas. Thomas's 3 is up. That's good. Dede Thomas makes the 3. Cats lead by 6. A quick little 5-0 run for the Bearcats.
Cardinals fans again displeased with the officiating on the floor. Went on the travel call. Didn't get it on Tyler McKinley. Bearcats have a bit of a run.
Conwell for 3. That's good. Silences this Bearcat crowd, and we're back to a 3-point game, but here come the Cats. Buck Harris towards the basket. No good, and here come the Cardinals. Card Nation still on their feet here with a minute and a half to go in the first. Bearcats lead by 3. Left side, there's a lot of contact. There's Mikel Brown, went down on the left side. Works to Khalif at the top of the key, and Conwell now inside the arc. Floats one up towards the basket. No good, went for his own rebound, but Baba Miller comes away with it. Here comes Cincinnati. A minute 15 to go in the first half. They lead by 3. Cincinnati inside the paint. Celestine Euro steps off the glass. No good. Draws the contact, though. Cats will head to the line for 2.
It's very interesting. I didn't hear the whistle, but that could totally just be our vantage point combined with the fans and the noise in this arena. But it was a fancy Euro step through. Just couldn't quite find the finish that Celestine wanted, but still a chance for 2.
Going back to that Day Thomas 3. He's in double figures so far tonight. He loves this arena. Had a strong game against Dayton last year. We're going to see Celestine at the line for Cincinnati. He's got nothing so far tonight, as the first one's going to miss. Celestine working on limited minutes as well. He's battling with some injuries he had in the offseason, still slowly coming back. Wes Miller said his workload is starting to expand as the year goes on.
Baylor transfer, 3 points a game so far. He was a standout at Baylor, and I mean, once you find him back fully healthy, it's going to be smooth sailing.
Second one's up and good. Bearcats lead by 4. Minute and 8 seconds to go in the first half. Quick timeout from the Cardinals right as they got across midcourt. So Pat Kelsey's going to think things over. Day Thomas heard no whistle.
He heard no whistle and ended up jumping into the arms of the official. Not, unintentionally, didn't realize he was there, didn't hear the whistle blow, but still, playing through the whistle is good unless you don't hear the whistle.
So 32-28 is your score here from the Heritage Bank Center. A minute 4 seconds to go in the first half. Strong showing so far from this Bearcat team. They're 5 for their last 7 from the field. We're mentioned in this game, Louisville coming in as the 6th-ranked team in the nation. 19 straight losses versus AP top 10 opponents for Cincinnati. Their last win was all the way back in 2012.
Oh, where'd you get that information from?
They're showing the TV broadcast, might as well do it.
I was going to mention that when I took over play-by-play in the second half. But that's a good point to make, is that Cincinnati has struggled against AP top 10 opponents for the last over 10 years. And the last win that they had was in 2012 against Florida State in the NCAA tournament. That was the last top 10 team they defeated, and FSU was number 10 at the time.
Couple more teams that potentially could be top 10 on Cincinnati's schedule. Houston will come to town on January 3rd, a big matchup once you get right into Big 12 play. Ball's back in play, though. Louisville has possession. Under a minute to go in the first half. 32-28 is your score in favor of Cincinnati. Louisville with it on the left side. Conwell back to McNeely. Shot clock under 10. Khalifa with space in the paint. Up off the glass. That's no good. Board goes to Cincinnati. Baba Miller right up the middle of the court into the paint. Kicks it outside. Keyshawn Tillery for 3. That's no good. Offensive board Cincinnati. Miller goes up. Contact not called. Back to Tillery outside. Shot clock resets. Tillery tries to go back outside to Miller. It somehow works his way to Day Thomas. Everyone on the floor touching this ball, but no one wants to corral it. Day Thomas has it. Under 10 on the shot clock. 20 seconds to go on the game clock here in the first half. Thomas from deep. That's no good. Miller battles for the board. He went down on the ground, and he lost possession. It's going to go out of bounds off of Cincinnati with 13.3 to go in the first half.
That was some of the sloppiest passing I think I've ever seen in my life from the Bearcats, especially the Bearcats being who they are, and a very strong passing team. It's absolute chaos on the court, and honestly, I'm shocked that the Bearcats came in with no points on that one.
13.3 to go in the first half. Bearcats lead by 4 over the Cardinals. Cardinals can cut it to a 1-possession game with a basket here. Having a long discussion over there in that near corner for us, right where Baba Miller hit the ground.
I think it was just
a wet spot.
I think it was just a wet spot. I mean, you also, playing in an ice hockey arena, it's tough.
Here comes Louisville, 13 seconds. Now 10 seconds to go in the first half. In the hands of Mikel Brown. Brown looking towards the left side, guarded by Tillery. working closely on him, drives towards the basket, dishes off to Khalifa. Khalifa off the glass, no good. It was blocked away there by Jalen Celestine of Cincinnati. The Bearcats say not today and take their 4-point lead into the locker room at halftime.
Chad Dollar off the bench, fist pumping in the air. He is hyped, as every Bearcat fan should be, as both these teams head to the locker room. That was just an emphatic block on the backside by Mustafa Sham. How about that finish of the half for Cincinnati?
10th block of the season for Mustafa Sham. He was one of the only players in Division I last year, the only Power 5 freshman to average 10-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, and 2.5 blocks in a game. And you see there, he was 4th in the nation in total blocks last year with 88. So Cincinnati leads 32-28 over Louisville at the end of the first half. We will have the second half of the Bearcats and the Cardinals coming up shortly here on Bearcat Sports Radio.
Welcome back to downtown Cincinnati as the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the number 6th ranked Louisville Cardinals on the banks of the Ohio River at Heritage Bank Center alongside Aidan Riggs. I'm Ethan Herzog. And Aidan, how shocking is this game from a standpoint that Cincinnati has put the clamps on the Cardinals, especially through the first 10 or so minutes, holding the Cardinals to 6 points?
You know, the thing that what's going through my mind right now is that there was only a certain group of people who expected this to happen, and it was everyone on that Cincinnati bench. They knew coming into this game this is exactly how they wanted to play. They wanted to lock down the Cardinals as much as they can, have them have one of the worst shooting nights they've had. This is a team shooting 50% of the year. We said it a couple times in that first half. They're shooting 26% from the field right now. Bearcats knew they had to take them out of play. They had to take some of their big names out of it. Of course, you still got Mikel Brown Jr., who's got 10 points in this one. He's in double figures. But still, everywhere else, it's not the performance that you've seen so far this year from the Louisville Cardinals.
The Cardinals average 103 points a game, which in its own right is absolutely ridiculous. But through the first 20 minutes of play, it's been a spectacle to see here downtown in Cincinnati.
I mean, it truly has been. It's been interesting to see how the Bearcats have been moving. I've been mentioning that game last year against Dayton a lot. So it really has had some similarities, in my opinion, to it. When you look at how Day Thomas specifically has been driving towards the basket, look at even guys, we saw Kirk Risa get into foul trouble early. But a guy like Baba Miller hasn't been fully involved in the play. He hasn't had the scoring night he's necessarily wanted. The Bearcats have been running really well beneath the basket. They're winning the points in the paint battle. They're winning the turnover battle as well. Second chance opportunities. Trying to find rebounds on here. Make sure I'm not fully blind. I'm wearing some new contacts here. I'm still adjusting to that. But Bearcats winning the rebound battle 24-18 over the Cardinals. That's where we've seen the Bearcats have success this year. Of course, it's been limited action, and that game specifically against Dayton is the one I'm going off of. They owned down low. They owned being underneath the basket, picking up all of the dirty rebounds. What we've seen so far from the night, it's where they've had the opportunity to take the lead.
This is the Bearcat team that third in the Big 12 in rebounding. They're averaging right around 41.3 per game. And what some of these players like Baba Miller and company are making up for in the lack of scoring is the assist. They're able to share the ball and spread the wealth out very, very well. Baba Miller, 3 assists on the night. Tyler McKinley, 2 assists. Jaden Thomas, has 2 assists to his name as well. And a couple of Bearcats, Creasa, Harris, and Tillery, all have 1 to their name. So they're able to really show their teammates a little bit of love.
And you know, the interesting part about that is that Louisville came into this game being one of the best teams when it comes to assist in the ACC. They actually lead the ACC, averaging 22.5 assists a game. Cincinnati was only averaging 16.5. They got 10 in the first half. I mean, Cincinnati's been dishing the ball out left and right. As you said, they were led in that category by guys like Baba Miller, who wasn't getting enough points. They got Day Thomas, who we know has had really good, make that Shauna Bayev, actually. And it's Day Thomas. I'm still adjusting these contacts. I apologize when I read some things wrong here. But you also got Tyler McKinley, a guy who you don't usually expect to be dishing the ball around. He got 2 to his name as well. Interesting to see in this final 20, can the Bearcats keep the pressure on the Cardinals? Can the Cardinals find that heat on offense that they've had all season? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was the lowest scoring half for the Cardinals this season.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't score 100 points after scoring 28. Well, you can, but it's really, really hard. Cardinals to get the ball first. Conwell stands in front of the broadcast table wearing his number 3 on his jersey. It's worn at number 3 his entire life as the Cardinals bestowed in their all whites with red trim, the Bearcats in their black cat uniforms. The All Blacks with white trim. Cardinals will be moving from right to left on your imaginary radio dial.
I do want to point out, according to the TV broadcast, the Kelsey Chevrolet up there in the upper left corner is a relation to Pat Kelsey.
That's what I thought. we were having this conversation before the broadcast started. Kelsey Chevrolet also related to Pat Kelsey, head coach for the Louisville Cardinals. And here we go. Cardinals top of the circle, sends it down low. Down to the near wing, now inside, just a step outside the paint is Hadley. Hadley dribbles with the right, passes it back out, goes to Conwell. Conwell spins through traffic and finds the first bucket of the half. belonging to the Cardinals. 32-30, 19:35 to go here in the first half.
Pat Kelsey is a fiery coach. You know, in that locker room, he had to be giving everything he had to this team. That's exactly what they needed to start.
Dede Thomas into the corner. Baba Miller tries to pump fake his way and drives inside the paint. Stops trying to push back on his defender. And that one rattles home, and the and one call. A chance for three. Baba Miller getting down and dirty.
You hear that crowd there? That crowd came alive on that and one for Baba Miller. The Bearcats fans are showing they're still here in this building. There's been a lot of action from the Cardinal fans, even though they've been down for a majority of the game. Cincinnati, they're ready to explode in this second.
These are two fiery fan bases. They've known each other for a long time, a century-old rivalry. 101 meetings. This is the 101st of the all-time series. 100th was in Maui, Hawaii, as Baba Miller knocks down the three-point play in a 35-30 ball game with 19:19 to go here in the second half. Low dribble at half court, guarded by Dede Thomas as Brown Jr. Gets it right back off a soft pass from McNeely. Now Brown trying to drive far side, bounce pass on the floor, picked up in a scrum by Frew. Able to kick it back out. Here's McNeely, drives, short two on the way, no good. Cleanup is good, however, from Sandana Frew.
And that's what it's going to take from the Cardinals. You got to get those opportunities, especially on the second chance. Bearcats are doing a good job of suffocating the Cardinals offensively. We see how they try and break through.
One of the top offenses and top defenses going at it tonight is Dede Thomas trying to two-step his way through the lane and gets blocked by Frew, the 6'11 junior from Berlin, Germany. He's been a member of the U20 FIBA squad for a number of years.
And that was what we've seen from Dede all day today. I mean, he's been finding the openings.
Catch and shoot. Shanabayev missed everything. Rebounded by Brown. Here we go down the other end of the floor. Top side. It's Brown driving through. Shot, unlucky bounce. Sean picks up the rebound. Bearcats back the other way, crossing a timeline. Catch and shoot. Kirk Krissa can't knock down the three. Rebounded by Frew. Now the other way. Across the timeline. Behind the back dribble for Brown. Brown trying to rotate back up towards the top. Here's Conwell. Conwell steps into a three of his own and knocks it down.
And here come the Cardinals.
Cardinal team that's been quiet from three, trying to pick it up. They're all knotted at 35 apiece with 17:58 to go here in the second half. Here's Shanabayev, one of the highly touted freshmen, brought in most recently by Wes Miller and staff. Low dribble. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Dribbles off to his right. Steps into the wing. Now a three on the way, and it's short. This time clinking off the front rim. Bearcats have gone awfully quiet. Can the Cardinals answer? No, they cannot. Ball up in the air, rebounded by Baba Miller.
You know, Shanabayev's on that right side for Cincinnati past two possessions has missed a three badly. Just going through and thinking about things. The depth perception here, a different side of the floor, a weird arena as well. The seats are further away from the rim. Could be playing a factor.
Down low, Baba Miller up and down. 37-35, 17-12 to go. And this is a nice hockey arena. So, like you said, the seats are a little odd and it's a different shape.
Just not what the Bearcats are used to. You got to wonder if that played a factor in their shoot around as well.
Trying to drive through the lane and a foul called down low. Sandana Frew went up. Got fouled in the process. It's going to be a foul on Cincinnati.
And you know, you can't use that excuse fully if you are Cincinnati, because it's also an issue that the Cardinals are playing with as well. I don't want to bring up Rick Pitino again in the ice hockey rink, but one of the things when they were building the KFC Yum Center, and he was the head coach, that he did not want it to be a hockey rink or not be able to have a hockey rink in that arena. One, because it was going to bring the condensation up on the floor, make it slippery, and also for those sight lines, so that it was the easiest for them to go around the country and wouldn't have that affect them.
First free throw is up and no good. And when Rick Pitino makes a request, you abide by said request. I mean, the history that Rick Pitino has in all of college basketball is nothing to be understated. First free throw missed. Second is good from Sandana Frew. So a 37-36 game. 16:58 to go here in the second half. Cincinnati looking for their first top 10 win since 2012 when they beat Florida State in the NCAA tournament. Dede Thomas off to the right, dribbling with the right hand, back to the left. Has a little bit of help from Buck Harris, trying to feed it through, but it's blocked. Numbers for the Cardinals, one-on-one, lost the dribble, still loose, picked up in the paint and blocked away at a foul. Baba Miller's gonna go down with the foul, but pure chaos. Down low, it'll be on Kirk Krissa, with the foul, but complete and utter chaos.
You get a hustle play from Day Thomas to knock it away from him, and Baba Miller comes up behind Adrian Woolley to try and knock it out of his hands as he was going up for the shot. The most concerning part about that for me was Baba Miller came down almost on the foot of Kason Pryor. It was an awkward landing. Looked like he limped at first. Looks like he's fine right now. Something to keep an eye on, just because this is a Bearcats team. It's battled injuries in the offseason a lot. You got to hope they can stay as healthy as they can.
Jalen Hayes, one of those injuries in the offseason, transferred from George Mason. It's Woolley able to knock down both and take a 1-point lead for the Cardinals. Whistle blows a quick substitution. Keyshawn Tillery steps on. Off goes Kirk Krissa.
The 5-1-3 is going to sound like the 5-0-2 here while the Bearcats taking up the floor. Louisville fans coming alive inside Heritage Bank Center.
Very passionate fan base has seen recent success under Pat Kelsey behind the back dribble for Baba Miller. Miller, hands in his face, and a foul called on the Cardinals. It'll go on Kason Pryor.
Now, there's not many people who wouldn't want this game to be on campus, both in Cincinnati and Louisville, but one of the cool things you're getting here is that kind of March Madness feel. When one thing goes well, one side of the arena is cheering, but the other one's booing, and then it flips back and forth on the next play. It's one of the really cool aspects of this neutral site.
Thomas lost the dribble, picked it back up, but another foul called. Thomas would knock down the floater. The foul will be on Kobe Rogers, his second, the Cincinnati native and transfer from Charleston, followed Pat Kelsey from his previous spot.
And has some beef with Pat Kelsey this week, as both of their alma maters are playing right now at Paycor Stadium.
Kobe Rogers, alumni of St. X. Pat Kelsey of Elder High School, just across the way at Paycor Stadium. Tillery into the corner with some help to Day Thomas. Thomas looks to get it back out to Buck. Does so back now, top wing to Tillery. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Tillery looks for a little bit of help. Can't find anything. A little bit deep of a shot. Day Thomas pulls up from the edge of the three-point marker. Missed everything off the glass. Back the other way now. 16:01 to go here in the second half. 37-38. The Bearcats trailing by 1. Low dribble for Khalifa as he tries to feed it inside. Blocked away, but recovered. And a nice little finger roll in for Ryan Conwell, increasing the lead 40-37. Here comes Buck. Spins through, puts up a shot, and a foul called down low, and I believe it'll be on the Cardinals when we return. Team's second, or his second, team's fourth for the Cardinals down low. 15:43 to go. Louisville leads it 40-37 over the Bearcats. Here on Bearcat Sports Radio, stay tuned. 40-37 lead the Cardinals have over the Bearcats with 15:43 to go here in the Hoops Classic in downtown Cincinnati alongside Aidan Riggs. I'll be the Herzog. Cardinals have found a way to kind of notch themselves back offensively, and the Bearcats slowing it down a little bit, but still 5 minutes into the half, still plenty of time to go.
You're starting to see what you expected from the Louisville offense. They're really starting to pick it up here in these opening 5 minutes of the second half. You look at your guys, you got Michael Brown. It's what we expected from him, that star freshman. I mean, he's just taking it himself. He's 5 for 10 from the field tonight. He's got 15 in total. I mean, he's 3 for 7 from deep. That's where I think if you're Cincinnati, you got to limit the 3-ball from Louisville. This is a team that's going to score. They're going to make baskets. It's just how they play. They're gotten it up to 32% from the field at one point. They were 0. They were 0 for their first 9 from the field. But now they're starting to heat up. You can't keep them from making baskets, but you can force them inside. You can make them go with what they're not as comfortable with. That's playing down low, and that's where you feel more comfortable, especially defensively. And one of the big things for Cincinnati here is limiting those outside shots, specifically from the guards. We're going to see Buck Harris and Keyshawn Tillery out there as your 2 main guards, along with Shauna Bayev out there. Interesting what they do and how they try and lock down these cards.
Bearcats get the ball back off a foul committed by Conwell. Conwell's got 2 on the night. The only player in foul trouble belongs to Cincinnati. It's Carcrissa with 3. Lobs it in, top of the key. Miller dribbles once, now dribbles it back, fires it back to Buck Harris. Now over to Shauna Bayev. Bayev on the far wing, trying to find the backdoor cut. Handles the dribble, pulls up for a deep 2, and is still quiet on the night after missing that shot. 40-37, back down the other way for the Cardinals. Stops near side wing. Here's Khalifa. Ball with the right hand, tries to feed it in, but it's taken away and kept in. But Keyshawn Tillery had his left hand across the baseline when he touched it to keep it in bounds. So it's going to stay with the Cardinals with 17 seconds left on the shot clock.
That might have been left finger. I mean, that was as close as you could be to being out of bounds, but just out of bounds was Tillery. It keeps the possession with Louisville, 17 on the shot clock.
Big break for the Cardinals as they lead now by 3. They try and extend this lead. 15 minutes to go. Trying to drive, stuck outside the paint. Facing the pressure of the Bearcats, Khalifa pump fakes from 3. Now takes it and it's blocked. Picked up by Shauna Bayev. Couple of numbers for the Bearcats. Harris gives it back to Bayev. Couldn't go up with a slam. He wanted that tomahawk. I just know it. But it's going to be a foul called on Khalifa, and it'll give Cincinnati shots.
I mean, this hasn't been the start of the second half the Bearcats wanted at all. I mean, Shauna Bayev right now is 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3 to start off this second half. He can get some points going here, but even when they have the possession on that fast break, I just didn't feel comfortable. They're not making you feel like they can get anything truly going. You got to have your starters show up here.
Heritage Bank Center, a place probably better known as the Twilight Zone. Shauna Bayev, first free throw off the front rim, no good.
And that doesn't help the case.
Bearcats have made very few trips to the free throw line. They're 5 of 9, 56%. The Cardinals, on the other hand, 13 of 15. Bayev, single dribble, free throws up and good. Makes it a 2-point ball game, 40-38, 14:57 to go. Here from Heritage Bank Center. Dribbling at the center court logo is Brown. As he hands it off to Khalifa and gives it right back to Brown Jr. Brown, outside the paint, takes up a deep 2, no good. Corralled down by Miller. Now numbers, Buck Harris through traffic, can't get the finish. I'll say last touch by Cincinnati. Baba Miller was there on the back end of the play. A couple of subs for Louisville. Khalifa off, through on.
I do want to commend you for how you're pronouncing Louisville, not being from there. Good job with that one.
Oh, I learned a lesson the hard way.
Oh, there you go. But it's just so back and forth in this game. It just feels sloppy. So much like what we saw last year in that Cincinnati-Dayton game. Here, you mentioned that how this feels like the Twilight Zone. There's just something about this arena. I don't know what it is. It just always makes teams that have looked really good just don't know how to play. And you're seeing it right now from both of these. Just no one can figure out what to get going.
Kriesel looks, fires it in, catch and shoot. 3-ball for Celestine, no good. And bouncing off the rim and out of bounds, it goes. Gives it back to the Cardinals. And it could be any mix of anything from the depth perception between where the floor starts and ends. It could be the moisture from underneath the floor seeping up onto the hardwood. It could be the acoustics here in this arena. They're not very good. I've seen a number of concerts here, and it just is not great.
Cincinnati 2 for 10 to start off the second half.
Conwell gets it back off a pass from Brown. Trying to drive through the lane, goes up for the shot, and the and one. Tyler McKinley called for the foul. The Cardinals starting to pull away here.
You hear the through chants on that one. And this is what you expect from the Cardinals. You see this ball movement right at the top of the key, and just Frew finds some space. Tyler McKinley is just outbodied there. I mean, that's McKinley, the redshirt freshman, didn't see a ton of action last year. Or didn't see any action last year, actually, with his injury. Being thrown into the fire.
What an opponent to face in his first full season. It's a Bearcat. Cannot convert on a three-point play. It's missed off the back iron. Now quickly, Bearcats down the other end of the floor. Here's Celestine. Hands it back to Chrissa, former UK Wildcat. Dribbling with the left, fires it back to Celestine, top of the circle, now down low. Pump fake for Sham, who goes up on the spin, is able to finish it off. 42-40, 13:54 left in the half. Down the other way, Conwell fires it off to his right to Brown. Brown trying to race against his defender. Ball is loose and picked up right before it scrapes across the half-court line. Now Conwell, a couple of dribbles between the legs, puts up a deep fader, and it's up and good. 44-40.
That's exactly what you're going to see from Louisville. They're not going to miss here in the second half. They missed way too many in the first half.
Bayev tries to drive, puts up a shot, and too strong. Shana Bayev has just been so quiet. He's 7 points on the night, but he's 2 of 10. Here's Conwell. Looks for the cut along the baseline, guarded by Shana Bayev. Finds a cutter, trying to advance towards the basket is McNeely. The shot is nullified. I believe the foul was committed on the floor. It was on Celestine. His first, team's fourth of the half. 13-12 to go. Cincinnati only trailing by 4 points. It's the number 6 team in the country.
I mean, I just want to get back to Shana Bayev. You mentioned how he's 2 for 11 from the field tonight. It's just not really acceptable for what you need from him. He's supposed to be one of your star players on this team. He's not having at all what he wants to have. He's going to go to the bench here. Next time he's out there, you need someone to step up now, or you need him to figure out whatever's going on. You can have your off night, but when you're going up against the 16th in the country, you got to figure something out here.
Now some conversations going on the sideline between assistant coach and Michael Brown Jr. Ball will be brought back to the baseline where the Cardinals will have it with 20 seconds on the shot clock after it's reset. Handing it loosely with the right hand, pass in, catch and shoot three, no good. Offensive rebound for Hadley. Hadley spins around his defender in Celestine, still battling for the rim, and it's blocked out of bounds. Mustafa Sham gets up there. Says, nuh-uh, not today.
How about the big man there? I mean, just getting high and wide as much as he could. Impressive work from him. I mean, he's one of the best blockers in the nation last year. That was one of the only things Cincinnati was really trailing at stats-wise at halftime.
7'2" center from Dakar, Senegal. The ball loose on the floor. Mad dash to get it. And who will come away with it? Who touched it last? So we'll see. It was Kirk Chrissa out of bounds. It'll be Cardinals ball with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
It was that same thing that we saw with Tillery, how Chrissa was on his back just out of bounds. But the two guys over there, you got Kirk Chrissa and you've got Buck Harris over there. And those are two guys that I described them earlier that's having just grit. It's something that Cincinnati teams haven't really had in the past couple of years. They've got that tenacity. They got that fire. They're falling onto the ground, trying to keep that ball in play. Love seeing them on the court right now.
Physical brand of basketball, and that's what the Bearcats have been searching for a long time. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Here is Brown. Brown tries to step over to his right, and it is missed off the three. Here comes Buck. Hands it off up top to Miller. Stands near to far wing. Now to Dede Thomas. Flings it in. The long arms of Mustafa Sham. Able to corral that one pass down. Kicks it back out. Dede Thomas with the one hand. Kicks it up top of the circle. Free ball. Chrissa. Good. 44-43.
That's his first basket of the night. He's working with 3 fouls right now. That's a big one that just got this crowd back into it.
2 assists to his name as well in 16 minutes on the floor. Bearcats fans have come back alive as a big collision around center court and a foul called on the Cardinals. Buck Harris loving the call. I believe it was Adrian Woolley get called for the foul.
It was going to be on Frew.
Yes,
there,
it will
that's
be.
his third as well.
Wow, that's a big blow.
He can't believe it. And Buck Harris, I talk about that grit, immediately going over to the bench and screaming at everyone, getting them involved. They've got 12 minutes to work with here. They're only down by 1. You got to keep guys like that out there.
Low-scoring affair, 44-43. Bearcats trail by 1, and it's given up automatically. Through the lane, Euro step, backhanded, can't get the finish, but will be foul shots coming for Michael Brown.
I mean, the way he's just able to weave his way through people there and almost not even take contact somehow. And he's got 3 Bearcats around him. He somehow found his way right towards the rim. I mean, what a move there. That was a bad is the right way to describe that pass also from Dane Thomas. I mean, that's just, you can't make that pass in that moment.
Sends Brown to the line, 24 of 27 on the year from the stripe. First shot is up and good. Brown tonight, 6 of 7 from the charity stripe today. The majority of his points have come from there. He's got 11 now.
You had to get that in, didn't you?
Absolutely. Didn't mean to, but it happened. Second shot is no good, rings out. We have fun here at Bearcat Sports Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Good time for all. Steps to the top of the circle. Here's Shaw, dribbling off to his left with the left hand. Ball over his head, flings it back up to Buck, now over to Miller. Miller dribbles, trying to feed his way through. Long arms, but denied, and he'll stay with the Bearcats. Timeout called on the floor, 45-43. With 11:45 to go here in the second half. Bearcats have gone a little quiet, but they're trying to claw their way back here.
I mean, they're just trying to stay alive as much as they can. I mean, this is a matchup that on paper is not in their favor at all with how offensive-minded this Louisville team is. And Cincinnati is a team that's just made up a defense. And now we got a dance battle or something going on between the mascots here?
I think so. We'll report back on the findings of this dance battle after the break. Cincinnati trails by 2, 45-43 with 11:45 to go in the second half on Bearcats Sports Radio. Welcome back to the banks of the Ohio River. 45-43. Cardinals lead it by 2 with 11:45 to go in the second half. And the results that down on the court of this dance battle was that both mascots won between Louis the Cardinal and the Cincinnati Bearcat. But I think the resounding...
Look, I know that I work in a sport that has a lot of ties, but let's be honest, that was not a tie.
That was not a tie. That was the Bearcat through and through. Come on, guys.
I mean, she got booed off the court respectively after calling that a tie.
She did.
But we got a ball game here.
We do, absolutely. And what does Cincinnati have to do to get back into said ball game?
What I'm really liking is, I mentioned earlier, Kirk Risa and Buck Harris on the floor right now. Those are two guys that are bringing a grit factor. They're bringing the energy to this squad. They might not be having the best nights in the stat sheet, but they're guys that need to stay on the floor. We've seen a lot of roster management and working with lineups this year from Wes Miller, maybe even doing it a little too much. Keep the guys on the floor that are making the difference.
Bearcats have the chance to tie. Pump fakes from the corner. Dede Thomas floater, no good. Racing for the offensive glass, gets it. Here's Krisa. Krisa through the paint, up, and can't get the two-hand jam on Shum, but there is a foul on the other end of the play.
House almost came down there. I mean, my goodness.
Could you have imagined?
How about that pass from Krisa?
That was a great pass.
He's able to go around the defender and just sends that almost no-look pass inside the paint. He two-hands it on the bounce to Chum. He had a lane to slam it home, but just enough contact there from Khalifa.
This is characteristic of a big man. Missed the first free throw. Not many made for the 7'2" sophomore. Only 11 of 24 on the day, or on the year, excuse me. Second shot rings out. Harris was there trying to collect the offensive rebound, but couldn't get it. Now still trailing by 2, 45-43. 11 and a half to go here in the ball game. There's Brown. Gets it back from Conwell, the leading scorer on the team. Brown off to his left. Conwell steps into a 3, and it rings its way home.
Ryan Conwell looks like he's right back in the city he used to make a ton of threes in, because he is. A transfer from Xavier. He'd had 17 against the Bearcats last year.
Shot 45 from the floor, 41.3 from beyond the arc at Xavier. Ball lost out of bounds. Baba Miller looks to be in a little bit of pain. Foul is on Pryor.
It's a little too much contact there from Pryor. But I mean, I mentioned earlier, if you want to take this Louisville team out of the game completely, you got to limit them on the 3. And I mean, you see Conwell just brought the crowd alive there. He was such a deep threat last year for the Musketeers, and it's done so well transitioning to Louisville. He's on his 4th school in 4 years, and everywhere that he's played, he has played against Cincinnati somehow. In a weird aspect of the transfer portal now. He's a true guy that's been all around the block. And we're going to get both teams going to the benches.
Believe that Baba Miller is being looked at by Bob Mangine, the trainer for the Bearcats, and there's going to be a video review, I believe, initiated by Louisville.
And Baba is in a lot of pain on the sideline right now for Cincinnati. We saw him wincing on the big board. That's not a guy you want to lose. Of course, he hasn't had the best night so far tonight. He still has 7 points and 8 rebounds. And it's crazy to say that's an off night for him, but it's kind of felt like that. You feel like you haven't said his name quite as much as you usually would.
This is a Bearcat team that they've been explosive through the first 4 games of the season and have been shut down for the better part of the past 10 or so minutes. Shooting 35% to Louisville's 33%.
It just hasn't felt like the same team you saw in the first half at all. And I think a lot of that comes from Louisville really figuring things out. There's been a lot of whistles in the second half as well, especially when you look at those foul numbers right now. Cincinnati already in the bonus with Louisville having 8 fouls. Keep an eye on that going down the stretch especially.
The foul stays on Pryor. Just announced. I believe it'll just be a baseline inbound. Excuse me, no, it'll be shots for Baba Miller.
Cincinnati in the bonus.
Yes. 8 fouls for the Cardinals, 5 for Cincinnati. As Miller takes a breath. Dribbles 3 times, spins the ball in his hands twice, uncorks, and falls through. A key make for Baba Miller, 44-48.
I keep saying Baba Miller having an off night, but it's almost undoubted that he's going to end up with a double-double again. I mean, this guy's a double-double machine. He's got 8 points and 8 rebounds now. He can make it 9 points on this one.
Miller, same routine as before. Lets it go, knocks it down. 9 points, 8 rebounds.
It's only a 3-point game here. You got 11 to go. You got to get a stop here to get some momentum in your favor.
That's what Buck Harris is looking to do, trying to step against Brown. Trying to get a little off-angle pass, goes its way towards Conwell. Now back up top to Khalifa. Khalifa gives it off. 3-ball is no good after ringing out and grabbed on the offensive glass. Nobody realized it. Nobody was ready for it, and cleaned up by Woolwood.
Baba Miller's hurt. You got to get him out of the game. I mean, Baba Miller just kind of let that rebound go away from it. It was in his hands. He just let Woolley pickpocket. And you can just tell the pain he's in, limping. That's not a good sight if you're Cincinnati.
He had hands on his knees, standing on the baseline. Bob Mangine comes out. Escorts him off. Brings on Tyler McKinley. McKinley playing with a single foul, 2 points, 5 rebounds on the day. 10 minutes of action on the floor.
You know, this is not the area where you want to throw in it. I'm not going to call him a true freshman, but virtually a true freshman. I mean, he took the red shirt last year, didn't see any play because of his injury. This is a big moment for Tyler McKinley.
Day Thomas finds Buck Harris, trying to rotate around. Creasa pump fakes the 3, gets it back to Harris. Harris at top of the circle, 12 seconds on the shot clock for the Bearcats. Harris dribbles from right to left, spin move inside the paint, puts up a deep 2 off the back iron, no good. Rebounded in the process by Roots, and the other way for the Cardinals as they cross the timeline. Bounce pass over to Conwell. Xavier transfer, knows the Bearcats all too well. Staying at the top of the circle, hands ball above his head, fires it into Khalifa. Khalifa just inside the 3-point mark, and a foul called off ball. Go on Day Thomas, his second, team 6th, 1 foul away from giving the Cardinals the bonus with 9:46 to go in the half.
I mean, we could have both teams in the bonus with 9 to go. I mean, that's a big deal with how points have been tough to find in this one, as they always have been in this arena.
John Abayev subs in. Buck Harris comes off. Another name that's been awfully quiet, Sean Abayev, 7 points on the night. Trying to rotate back down as Rogers, and it's taken away. Here's Creasa, steps to the top of the circle, flips it back to McKinley. Dribbles once, now twice, trying to find the corner. Now has to kick it back up top to Creasa. Now off to the left into Sean Abayev. Here's Sham, lost it and picked up, but the Cardinals have a little bit of life, leading by 5. Woolley sends it up and bounces off of Pat Kelsey on the sideline. Bearcats catch a break.
I mean, when I'm watching this Bearcats team on offense, there's just no control. When you look at how guys like Tyler McKinley were dribbling it, I mean, he's got his arm all the way extended, just no control over that ball, and you see it come back to bite Sham down low trying to grab that ball. He didn't have control of it either. And they just give the ball away. Luckily, no damage was done. You can still chip away at the lead here.
Thomas off to the right. Trying to get it to Sean Abayev, but heads it up with Tyler McKinley instead. Back to Day. Off to his left, spins through traffic, over to Creasa in the corner, trying to fling it in. Ill-advised pass, intercepted. All alone, now McNeely flips it back up top, had an open look, doesn't take it, drives to the bucket, and it's up and in for Roots. Timeout call by Wes Miller. In arguably a season where he has something to prove in the Queen City.
I mean, that last bucket was where you really heard that Louisville crowd come to life. And as he said, Pat Kelsey trying to prove it here in his hometown. I mean, given everything they've got, they now hold a 7-point lead, and Baba Miller just went to the locker room.
Rough showing here for Cincinnati, 8:50 to go, trailing 52-45 to the number 6 ranked Louisville Cardinals. We'll be back the continuation of the second half after this on Bearcat Sports Radio. Bearcats have a little bit of climbing to do here with 8:50 to go in the second half. 52-45, the Cardinals leading over Cincinnati in the 5th game of the year. A crisp November evening on the banks of the Ohio River. The Bearcats in the middle of their non-conference slate have arguably their biggest opponent than the Cardinals.
This is going to be the biggest test of the non-con that they've got right here. Of course, they've got quote-unquote neutral site games against Georgia and Clemson, but this is a top 10 team that came into your city right now and has the louder fan base of the two that are here. All the momentum is in the Cardinals' favor. I mean, we said it right when we went off air. That last shot felt like the kill shot against these Bearcats team, causing that timeout. You don't have any points in the last 2 minutes of play. Cardinals are starting to heat up to 3 for their last 4. You got to figure something out here for the Bearcats and go on your run yourself.
You need to find a play to get the Bearcat fans back into this game. I think is just the main concern. Because if you can get the fans back behind you, you can feed off that energy. And as of right now, it's been an absolute struggle for the Bearcats as Baba Miller stepped to the locker room after going down with an injury. He's being assessed on the floor. Kirk Risa, Tyler McKinley, Dede Thomas, Shanabayev, and Mustafa Sham for the Bearcats as they look for any sign of life. Risa, cross half court. Cuts right, goes left. Couple of defenders around him. Fires it down to Shanabayev. Abayev steps to the top of the circle. 13 seconds on the shot clock. McKinley, ball over his head. Gives it back to Abayev. Trying to rotate down to the near side corner. Looks for a little bit of help. Finds some in Mustafa Sham. Sham gives it back to falling Shanabayev, and he missed everything off the glass. Back the other way. Here comes Woolley. Foul down low and a foul called. Couldn't get the slam, but does get the foul on the other end. Chance for foul shots for the 6'11" Berlin, Germany native, Sandana Fruit.
This is where I feel like you're starting to see the true talent differential between these two teams. I mean, just the speed that Louisville's playing with right now. I'm surprised they aren't going to take a look at this one. It looks like they might. That is a lot of contact to the head that Tyler McKinley gave. And they're going to take a look.
That's going to be a technical foul.
That's at least a flagrant one, in my opinion.
No doubt about it. It's going to be upgraded.
Wow. That hurts, too. You're already thin at the big man position, losing Baba Miller. McKinley's got 2. I mean, that's so aggressive. I'm a little concerned about what the call is going to be here.
I am, too.
There's a chance you're down 2. Like, there's a true chance right now you're down 2 big men. And you're having to see a guy like Halvin Zella come into this game.
Taking a look at the replay, playing on the video board. A swat, and I mean, that's a forearm to the back of the head. Mustafa Sham may have just been ejected from this ball game.
I mean, this is Tyler McKinley. That's forearm, borderline elbow, right to the head. I mean, that's not a good look at all. That's just late to...
That is Tyler McKinley, you are right. As there are groans from both sides. And it is ruled a common foul.
Wow.
To the surprise of everybody in the arena.
Including us.
Including us.
I think McKinley might have gotten away with a break there. That was an aggressive contact.
I mean, that was insane. That's at least a flagrant one in my mind.
I'm stunned by that one.
I am too. That was nuts. First shot on the way and falls through for Sandana Fruit. Fruit is Fruit. I had to do it.
That was a good one.
I have a couple of those. Second shot is good. 54-45. Cardinals starting to pull away with 8:13 to go. The Bearcats need some serious help. Who is going to step up and bring the energy back for Cincinnati. Here's Krisa. Near wing. Top of the circle now to Abayev, the freshman. Can he find his way through? Up and no good. Trying to get that second attempt. Ball bouncing, still loose, and a whistle blows, and it was last touched by Celestine. Wes Miller automatically coming out. He wants a review. At least I believe so.
Looks like the refs are discussing. I don't think you're going to get it here, though.
I don't think we will either. 7:52 to go. The under 8 timeout is here. We'll step aside. 54-45. Bearcats trail. Back to Heritage Bank Center we go. 54-45. The Bearcats trail. For Baba Miller sent off with an injury, and just some messy, sloppy play for the Bearcats as of recent.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see Baba Miller back in this game, I'd assume, with 8 to go, and he went to the locker room. But it just feels like you're seeing the true talent difference in these two squads. This is a Louisville team that preseason had one of the best transfer portals out there, along with one of the best recruiting classes as well. And then Cincinnati being down a guy, their top guy really, out of the portal, and they just never recovered from it. It's been just disappointing second half for the Bearcats, and the Cards are just getting hot. Bearcats don't have an answer. You're down by 9. You got to find a way to chip away at this and limit the Cardinals offensively.
Cardinals on a 6-0 run over the past 2:42. Bearcats have not scored, have not allowed a bucket to fall with their last 4 shots, and have not scored in the past 3 minutes. Something's got to change if you want a chance.
I mean, when you're looking at this, too, I don't want to bring him up again, but Sean Abayev, he's 2 for 13 on the night. I mean, it hasn't been a pretty 2 for 13 either. He's 2 for 9 from 3. I mean, that just hasn't been pretty. It's actually, I am seeing Baba Miller back on the sidelines over there stretching. So we won't roll him out completely in this one. I'd be shocked if he came back in, though.
Unsure what the injury might be. Could be as simple as got the wind knocked out of you, which never feels good. But nonetheless, Cardinals have the basketball out of the break. From under the Cincinnati basket, back over to handle is Isaac McNeely, West Virginia native and Virginia transfer, coming into Pat Kelsey's squad. There's Brown. Low dribble with the right, now over to the left. Trying to flip it up top. Has Roots. Roots back centrally now to Frew. Frew onto the far wing, now back. Here is Brown. Guarded by Dede Thomas. Flicks it over. A wide open 3. Fadeaway, no good. Good rebound from Dede Thomas, is aware, and was able to get back in time to snag it. Here's Abayev into the corner. Kirk Krisa, can he knock down the triple? Yes, he can.
Needed that.
Needed that big time. 54-48. Trying to advance into the front court is Brown with the basketball. Wants to dribble down to the near side, steps onto the wing, kicks it down low. Frew goes up and gets it to fall.
I mean, that's been one of the problems that Cincinnati's having in the second half specifically, is the down low presence defensively just hasn't been there. Frew has ate them alive in the second 20.
Celestine up top. Obayev now to Day Thomas. Steps on the far wing, who gets it from Chom. Chom trying to provide a little bit of a screen here. Ball above his head. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Krisa. Krisa, can he get hot from three? No, he cannot on that shot at least. Off the front rim. Now back the other way after the miss. 56-48 with 6:35 to go and counting in the ballgame. Wide open three. Didn't take the three. Unsure as to why. Goes over to McNeely, who's stuck, and a travel called and a big turnover. Bearcats need to use this one and get some momentum off of it.
I mean, that's exactly what the Bearcats needed, was just something or some type of giveaway from Louisville. They've been so astounding offensively in the second half. They just needed something like that to get them going.
Thomas receives the inbound pass, slowly dribbling up across half court. Looks, gives it off to Abayev. Wants to rotate back. Here's McKinley. Top of the circle now to Krisa. Krisa pump fakes the three. Steps it over to the near wing to Day Thomas. Tries to feed it into McKinley. Lost the ball through his fingertips. And out of bounds it'll go. And you mentioned it before. Effectively just a freshman. As pumping up the crowd is Connie Roots, the Washington, D.C. native. Letting the Louisville fans get something to cheer about. 56-48, 6 minutes to play. There's Brown. Staying at about half court now, passes it forward to Conwell. Conwell gets it back off a nice jump pass, now steps into a three, and that might be the dagger. 5:50 to go, 59-48. The Bearcats have no answers for this red-hot Cardinal offense. Day Thomas can't get the lucky roll. Down the other end of the floor, here's Conwell. Conwell looks, tries to drive forward, and the ball will be given back to Cincinnati. Conwell called for the foul. That's his third. The team is in their 9th foul of the half.
I mean, the air just feels deflated for Cincinnati in this one. I mean, it's been all Cardinals in this second half. They get a break there. I don't really know if Krisa was fully set necessarily, but they get the whistle in their favor. If you want any chance, you got to make a run here.
Cardinals fans are not happy. Krisa long arms it all the way around the world for Celestine, and he knocks down the triple. That's a big three, and it's an 8-point deficit for Cincinnati.
Forgotten three-point shooters is one of the best ones in the Big 12.
Trying to drive forward, and another foul called off ball, and Day Thomas is going to get called for the foul.
It's going to be his third. But, I mean, the whistle's so active in this game. My goodness. I mean, fouls left and right going on each of them. That ball movement from Cincinnati is something you hadn't seen in the second half, though. I mean, just quick with the pass, everything they could do.
Excuse me, the foul's on Sincere Harris.
You see some fans over there behind the Cincinnati bench. Just looks like it's a Louisville fan that's working his way out. Just
Looks
letting
like
all the Bearcats fans know.
He may be getting kicked out, I think, is what's happening here. His first free throw up and good, 61-51 now.
If he wasn't originally getting kicked out, he is now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's flipping the bird to every single fan in his vicinity. It's not pretty. So he's just making his way up the stairs. Second free throw is up and good for Michael Brown Jr. 61-51, a 10-point lead for the Cardinals here in the ballgame. Thomas behind the back dribble, trying to drive, finds Buck Harris down low and is able to finish it off. Wasn't pretty, but it worked. Back down the other way, 53-61. Bearcats still trying to cling at any sign of life down low. Ball was last touched by Day Thomas as it was fed in down low to Javon Hadley. Now Wes Miller comes from the bench and he wants a review. And he's going to get that review. See who touched it last.
I mean, you're entering this weird state of the last 5 minutes where the Bearcats can go on a run here. It's actually been a challenge from Wes Miller. One of the new things this year where you can challenge a play. But I I don't really know how to describe it. It just, again, feels like everything is just done for the Cincinnati team, but they're holding on to their last bit of hope. You had Buck Harris with that last slam. We'll just have to see what really happens here from this Cardinal team. Can they keep up the momentum? What does this call here be as well?
A smart challenge by Wes Miller. I mean, 5 minutes left. It feels like you have to at this point.
It really does. I mean, you just got to give everything you got. We're going to look on the screen now. You see it was Hadley down low who had it, and it looked like it was knocked away from him.
But it looked like
Thomas.
Maybe in the process that right hand remained on the basketball after Thomas had punched it out, but that's just, I think, wishful thinking for a Bearcat fan.
I don't like the Bearcats' chances on here. The only thing they have is a better angle. I don't see how this doesn't go in Louisville's favor, if I'm being honest.
I don't either.
I mean, it's Thomas knocks it straight out of Hadley's hand. There's no other really contact. It looks like it is going to go in favor of the Cards.
Call is upheld. So that just cost Cincinnati their second to last timeout. So they just lost their challenge for the remainder of the game. 4:52 to go in the half. 61-53 is the score. The Bearcats need some serious help.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the stands.
Oh yeah, it's getting chippy.
I think it's that same fan. That guy.
It is that same fan, and now the police are involved. They're all, I'm not sure if they're escorting him or what, but the police, CPD is over there. They think they're trying to handle the situation. As the ball inbounded, Khalifa with the basketball, and there's a foul off the ball. It happened almost immediately.
Double foul.
Double foul, so there's nothing.
I actually kind of like that call too, because he had Hadley go down and then McKinley went down right after them. They just got kind of tangled together.
I think
if you were going to blow the whistle.
Just a very delayed call. Zabayev also just slipped on the inbound pass. Cardinals still trying on offense, puts it up, can't get it. Zabayev comes down, is able to hold on to the basketball. Zabayev cuts left, drives, wants to go all the way with it with the left hand, the scoop and score. 61-53.
He needs it. I mean, he needs to get hot here if the Cats want any chance.
Cardinals into the front court. Wants to flip it back. Here's Khalifa. Still holding on to the ball, and a foul on Khalifa. Knocks Buck Harris to the ground with his backside. That's a tough foul. His fourth. The Cardinals are officially over the limit.
That's such a hard one to truly call there. I mean, Khalifa's just standing right on the arc, and Buck Harris just catches him right in the hip as Khalifa was extending out there. That might be just one of those scenarios where the low man wins. I mean, the guy who hit the ground was able to get the call. He didn't have the size advantage, worked for him.
Cincinnati's 3 of their last 3. And Thomas extend that trend. Fires into McKinley, kicks it out. Jaden Thomas from the corner, up, no good. This is their first, so now they're 3 of 4.
The defense from Conwell on Jaden Thomas in the second half has been impressive.
Pulls up for a triple of his own. Michael Brown Jr. knocks it down.
That's the kill shot.
I feel like we said that 3 times, but this time we might mean it. 64-55, 3:42 to go and counting. Taken away, Michael Brown Jr. all alone. And that is the sound of the 5:02 taking over the 5:13. This game is over.
I mean, there are a vast amount of Louisville fans in the Cincinnati end zone here, just taking over Heritage Bank Center.
Wow. 11-point lead for the Cardinals, 66-55. 3:25 left. The Bearcats still trying to cling to life here on Bearcat Sports Radio. 11-point deficit for the Bearcats. As the Cardinal faithful made the trip up 71.
I mean, just listen to it.
Yeah, just listen to this crowd.
Taking over down the drive right now. I mean,
they're not having it.
I said it earlier, you were going to hear that CARDS all night. Man, that's a city down there in Louisville that wanted basketball just to be good. I mean, they went through so much in those 2-3 years. Heck, even when you think a little bit further back, a couple of the last years of Chris Mack weren't the best for them at all. And then you bring in Kenny Payne, and they had historically bad seasons. They were at some points 290th in KenPom. I mean, historically bad teams for a program that's considered a borderline blue blood. And the fans were just wanting some type of competitive team, and they finally have it. And you see how they've traveled up here. They've shown out in a neutral site event, taking over the city almost. I mean, it's just a disappointing showing from Cincinnati's fan base, but credit to the Cardinal fan base for showing up.
As of today, ranked teams are 85-0 this season against unranked teams. This would, at minimum, be the 86th win.
You know, they're showing on the big board right now an interesting graphic about the Charleston Classic semifinals going on tonight. All of those teams are opponents for Cincinnati this season.
Absolutely.
Xavier and Georgia playing later, and Clemson defeating West Virginia. Cincinnati's going to play Clemson right before Christmas in South Carolina at another neutral site game. They're going to play Georgia, of course, at a neutral site game in Atlanta. Crosstown shootout that's only 2 weeks away. And then West Virginia, of course, the Big 12 opponents. It's an interesting mid-season event that they got going on there. All future opponents are the Bearcats.
It's going to be big. Big indeed for Cincinnati. With 3:25 to go. This is the last chance that the Bearcats truly have. Michael Brown Jr. knocked down what could be the dagger in this game. He's 18 points, 4 of 13, 2 of 7 from 3, one of them being the one he just knocked down. Day Thomas has shots, both teams over the limit. First shot for Day is good. Now back to a 10-point lead for the Cardinals, who after going 0 for their first 11 from the field, now shooting 39% from the field and 31 from 3. Hit one of the biggest triples of the night just a few moments ago. Both free throws get knocked down. 57-66 is the score. The Bearcats trailing. It's Conwell dribbling right about half court. Fires it ahead to Hadley. Hadley gives it right back. It's Brown looking to find his way in. Can't find much. Gives it back to Frew. Gives it back up top and down low. And finishing it off is Javon Hadley.
I mean, it's just so smooth offensively from the Cardinals. That's just impressive work moving the ball around.
Sham wants to have some fun. Can't quite knock down the 3. I think this place would have lost their minds if Cham had knocked down the triple, but now the Cardinals are just going to try and dribble out as much as they can on every possession.
Cham shooting 14% from 3 on the season, by the way.
Higher than some. Higher than some. On the far wing, there's Woolley. Trying to rotate down to the near side. Kicks it back to Brown. Brown pulls up from 3, and it is up and no good. Offensive glass, though, and second attempt, no good. Third time is still loading for the Cardinals. And back out it goes with a fresh shot clock. 14 seconds on it and counting as we eclipse 2 minutes remaining in the second half.
I mean, the second chance opportunities didn't happen for Louisville in the first half. Completely different in the second. It's how they took over.
Contested 3, no good. Can't quite finish either. Hadley was down low and corralled the missed shot. Now Buck Harris through traffic with the left hand and good. 1:45 to go, 68-59.
Buck didn't hear no bell.
I don't think Buck will ever choose to hear said bell. Here's Brown. Slow dribble. Standing still at half court. Day Thomas just a few paces away, now closing in. Minute and a half to go here in the game, 68-59. Here comes Brown through traffic, puts it up. Can't get the and one, but does have foul shots coming. Foul was on Day. It's his fourth. Just a tough showing in the second half for the Bearcats. Completely collapsed. Outscored 40-27 so far with a minute and a half to go.
Just disappointing end to this. I mean, they showed in the first half that they have the ability to compete with these teams, but they're going to go up against opponents that are very similar to Louisville later in the season. You think of some of those big teams like Houston, Arizona, Kansas, even Baylor on your schedule. You got to be ready for it. They showed they can compete. Just got to put two halves together.
A 10-point lead, can make it 11. A shot falling down from Michael Brown Jr. It's a big contest, and all things considered, I mean, a great first half just shows you have to find a way to finish the game out if you're Cincinnati. Thomas tries to spin, pulls up for deep two, no good. Fighting for the rebound, Celestine goes away with it, kicks it back out up top. Krisa fakes the three, Shauna Baev, can he knock it down? Yes, he can. 70-62 with a minute remaining.
And that makes Baev 4 for 15 on the night. They're just a little too late there to finally get one to go.
The timeout called by Pat Kelsey. A chance that he's going to relish in this moment.
It also just feels fitting that Baev finally made the three with a minute to go and you're down by 12. I mean, he missed so many in that first part of the second half.
Baev is 3 for 10 from downtown.
I've talked a little bit to a couple people about this, Chase Yance and Justin Dietrich specifically, but Baev is a guy coming from the overtime elite ranks. Different style of basketball in college basketball completely.
Absolutely.
It emphasizes a lot more of those deep balls that we've seen from him a lot, that kind of jumping into the opponent to get that foul. They don't call it as much in college basketball as they do in a style that's more professional. That's what overtime elite really does. It'll be interesting to see as the season goes on how he adapts more to a college basketball style.
You can see it too in his form. When he leaps off the floor to take his shot, he's leaping from a more forward stance. Ends up back with 52.5 seconds remaining. The Bearcats trail by 8. Both teams have 10 fouls. Cincinnati has 1 timeout. The Cardinals have 2. Bearcat fans have made their way to the exits, and I mean, possibly going to check out Elder Muller. I think it's Elder 34, St. X 27. I'm not sure at what point in the game, but it's been...
Can you say that score again?
Elder 34, St. X 27.
Is there any defense being played in this game?
I don't think so.
They got the opposite of this?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, talk about points being put on the board there.
Defense in Paycor Stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say,
two things that don't happen.
Probably going to see that Sunday, too. But
2 things that don't happen. Defense and Paycor Stadium. Ball sent down low and out of bounds. So with 49 seconds, the Bearcats get the ball back, and Shauna Baev racing over. He'll get subbed back in.
Make the Louisville crowd hold their breath a little bit here. Don't make it easy on them.
Don't make it easy. I'm sure Pat Kelsey's heart rate is racing at the moment. Same with Wes Miller's, but then again, when it's his not. This ball slowly rolls. Thomas picks it up. Dribbling with the left, switches to the right, now back left, feeds it out. Shauna Baev, can he knock it down from the corner again? No, he cannot. It's Krisa trying to draw the foul and does so with 39 seconds remaining. Now, the one thing that the Bearcats have going for them late is that 73% from the stripe are the Cardinals, but even then, it's not as bad as they would hope.
I mean, I think what we saw today really was just the talent of Louisville really showed out here, especially at the end of this game. This final 10 minutes, Louisville's really been able to separate themselves from what Cincinnati has. And, I mean, credit to the Cardinals on building this roster in 2 years. This is still Pat Kelsey's second year. He's using the transfer portal. He's also using some different things with NIL. Really smart. I mean, he's bringing these guys from overseas that have the experience. Also recruiting some guys that come from the G League level, too. They're not on the team yet, but credit to him on using all of his resources. Pat
Kelsey is 31-8 all the time as a head coach for the Cardinals. Thomas on the near wing flips it down low, and Chom will slam it down. Shot clock turned off with 27.9 seconds remaining in the game. Timeout called by Wes Miller.
You could have told me that play was last year if that was Aziz Bandego instead of Mustafa Chom. I mean, that looked exactly like the Bearcats last year.
Absolutely.
Wes Miller's not leaving anything in his pocket tonight.
Absolutely not. I mean, you kind of do have to throw everything at the wall and hope it sticks when you're playing the number 6 team in the country, who have no shortage of talent coming up. Eastern Michigan is next at home, then NJIT. Then they head out. They'll play 21st ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, then head to Indiana at home, and then Memphis to round that out.
You know what's really interesting about that schedule is Cincinnati has the opposite on those next 2 games. We host NJIT on Monday, Eastern Michigan on Wednesday. Interesting scheduling there.
It's so those teams are in the area, so they're going to pick out a couple of those teams into kind of a triangle, and a lot of the times they're playing like Ohio State, then they'll go down to Cincinnati, then they'll head to Louisville, might head to UK, then they'll head to like Indiana, Notre Dame. So they stay in this bubble that is the Midwest. So a lot of times when you see teams that, especially in mid-majors, they don't have as much in terms of funding for travel, so they'll just stay on the road for 5, 6, 7 days and kind of complete a circuit and go around and play a couple of these bigger teams.
No, there is a game missing on that Louisville schedule, which involves, I'm very partial to this game, but I got to ask, why are the Bellarmine Knights on the schedule this year? What are we doing here when your in-town rival is not on the schedule this year? I'm very disappointed in that one. That was a game that I used to go to every year when it was an exhibition that they hosted at the beginning of the year. Bellarmine going to Kentucky this year, not going to Louisville, as Bellarmine knocked off Louisville a couple of years ago. You might remember 21-22 season, might have been 22-23 actually, one of the first games of the year.
You're talking to a man who's on the roster for the Bellarmine Knights on the ESPN Plus side.
They could put me in the game.
Definitely could. Ball sent in, trying to draw the foul, can't do so effectively, and then Tillery able to reach his arms out and stop play with 22.6 seconds remaining.
And you just saw that body language from Wes Miller on the sideline. You could tell that was his throw in the towel moment. But it'll be interesting to hear his comments after the game, what he thinks about things, because these are some mistakes we're seeing from the Bearcats tonight that we've seen in the past couple years too. Just the offense hasn't been there, just in the second half really fallen off. But it'll be interesting to hear what he says and what they need to do.
I'm not saying that the 6 missed free throws of the 10 of 16 of evening for the Bearcats really make too much of a difference, but honestly, they do. If they had made those 6 others, they'd be a lot closer, and it'd be a whole different story.
Just first look at this stat sheet that I'm looking in front of me. I look at points off turnovers. I mean, that was something that Cincinnati was leading Louisville in the first half. Now all of a sudden, Louisville 17-7 leading that.
Creasa was almost upended, lost the ball, picked up. And Louisville's just going to dribble this one out. Cincinnati's not going to try. So Creasa lost the basketball. It's held on to by Michael Brown Jr. Letting this ball game come to a close with a 10-point lead and a 10-point victory. Pat Kelsey comes back to the Queen City, gets his 32nd win as a head coach of the Louisville Cardinals and his 293rd win all time across all 3 stops.
An impressive showing from the Cardinals. I mean, they traveled very well here to Cincinnati, took over this place, and they showed out and showed what they got. This is a top 5 team in the nation. You'll see them probably in the top 5 on Monday.
See them in the top 5 and see them undoubtedly in the NCAA tournament coming up in a few months in March as they continue their trek for dominance. Cincinnati's next contest will be against NJIT coming up on Monday. back home at Fifth Third Arena, and Louisville will head back home and take on Eastern Michigan on the ACC Network at 7 p.m. That's on Monday as well. The next broadcast for Bearcat Sports Radio, Aidan Riggs, Chase Yance take on the Cougars as they head to Cincinnati for a big matchup back at Nippert Stadium with a chance at a trip to Arlington on the line as the Bearcats try and keep their season alive.
Get some good rest tonight. I expect to see you 6 a.m. at Big Noon Kickoff.
I will be thinking about going to Big Noon Kickoff, as that is also in town, as Cincinnati takes on BYU on Fox proper at 8
What am
o'clock.
I even saying? I'm not going to be there at 6 a.m.
Absolutely not. Hello? What are we talking about here? But that does it. Here for the banks of the Ohio River is the 101st meeting all time between the Bearcats and the Cardinals goes to those in the 5-0-2. One final time, Cardinals 74, Bearcats 64. For Aidan Riggs, I'm Ethan Herzog saying so long from Heritage Bank Center. You've been listening to Cincinnati Bearcat men's basketball on Bearcast Sports Radio.